And it is snow. The snow is coming down fast in the Salt Lake Valley. Our meteorologists tell us we are seeing the worst snowfall of the day, and that continues until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Joining me live is Utah Highway Patrol Lieutenant Cameron Roden. Thanks so much for being with me.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So where are the biggest trouble spots, or is just everywhere, snowy and slick?
It's transitioned a little bit throughout the day. It started more in our high elevations and then out in Tooele County where we saw high winds, but has moved to more our valley areas. And so we're kind of seeing an impact statewide now, including the Wasatch Front.
So what's the best advice for folks? I know you always tell us to slow down, but are people actually adhering to that?
Yes and no. We get people that slow down for the snow, but we still see speeds that are too high for these conditions, which is causing a lot of crashes. Our troopers are out there responding to crashes and getting these things cleared out as quickly as possible, but just due to the volume of crashes that we're experiencing right now, we do have extra resources and stuff out there, and we still have some on standby that if we need them. But if we can get people to slow down a little bit more, sometimes people think that the speed limit is still 70 miles per hour, but they need to slow down much more than that for these type of conditions.
So what is the biggest thing that people do wrong? Is it just speed?
Speed and following too closely, those are probably our two biggest ones. But with these type of slick conditions, even lane changes can be dangerous when trying to change lanes and getting caught in between those slushy lanes, causing people to lose control as well.
And right now seeing crashes on all the major interstates, or where are the worst spots right now?
I've talked to several of the areas around the state right now. We are still seeing issues from up in Box Elder County. They've got quite a few crashes going on. Sardine Canyon is closed right now as they work to get some of those crashes towards the mouth of Brigham, the canyon right there in Brigham City, cleared out to reopen that canyon. We've got about 18 or 19 crashes between Salt Lake and Utah County going on as well. I also spoke with the Cedar City area. They've had some semis crash just south of Cedar City that are affecting the lanes down there.
Lieutenant, I appreciate your time. Thanks for being with me.
Thank you.
Lieutenant Cameron Roden joining us live on the KSL Newsline. We do have double team traffic for your noon hour as we get through this kind of snowy situation that we're in right now. In other news that we are following, Utah lawmakers for now have shot down a proposal to allow doctors to not perform medical procedures that go against their religious beliefs, or their conscience. KSL News Radio's Adam Small begins our team coverage.
State Senator Kevin Stratton's bill would have opened the door for not only doctors but also insurance companies to deny providing or covering certain procedures. The only caveats being that providers give their employer advance notice and the procedure in question is not in an emergency setting. Senator Jen Plum, who's worked in the medical field for more than 2 decades, was one of the lawmakers who voted against it in committee.
I don't like the idea that someone could say, I don't know that I'm comfortable with your religion or your religious practices. I don't want to care for you. How about even your career? It's pretty feisty times right now. What if someone said, you went to work for ICE? I am not going to care for you. All of these things are horrifying to me.
University of Illinois law professor Robin Wilson tried to clarify some things about the bill in response to those concerns.
You can choose not to do a service, but you cannot choose to not serve a particular category of person.
Others who commented in the hearing said they felt that this bill could create barriers to service. The bill ultimately failed to advance, with 3 Republicans voting yes and 2 Democrats and a Forward Party lawmaker voting no. Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
We will also talk to the CEO of the Utah Medical Association about this bill. That's coming up on Midday. SNAP benefits could be limited again this year under a new bill that would prohibit using SNAP to buy ultra-processed foods. The bill is sponsored by Representative Kristen Chevrier, the same lawmaker who introduced a bill that passed last year banning Utahns on SNAP from using their benefits to buy soda in an effort to promote health. Chevrier tells KSL reporters the same idea is behind this bill.
Because SNAP is actually supposed to be nutritious food, we feel like we should be moving more in the direction of making people healthy.
The bill hasn't been read yet, but there are already people lining up against it. Utahns Against Hunger executive director says that those on SNAP should be treated like adults and allowed to buy food that makes sense for them. A Salt Lake County Sheriff's deputy has been charged after billing the department for nearly $75,000 worth of time that he didn't work. Police say John Leacona Green submitted over 1,300 extra hours on his time card over the course of a year. He admitted to doing so, saying he needed to pay for living expenses. He is no longer with the department. A new behavioral treatment and housing facility is coming to Salt Lake City.
The new facility will provide shelter and treatment for 68 people.
We know that when people have lived on the street for a very long time, it's not easy for them to just get a job the next day. They need support. They need somebody to understand their trauma and their journey.
Salt Lake County Mayor Jenny Wilson says this is one of 17 projects getting help with money from the county's Housing Trust Fund. The project is being built in conjunction with Valley Mental Health. The CEO says they expect to complete construction in the second quarter of next year. Reporting from just west of I-15 at First South, Don Brinkerhoff, KSL News Radio.
KSL's top national stories. The Russian delegation left right after talks with Ukraine, and the U.S. expressing disappointment with what was discussed. ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang has a reaction from the Ukrainian president.
Zelensky expressed some skepticism about the status of these trilateral talks, saying that it appears the three parties are not exactly on the same page, criticizing, the U.S. for talking about concessions, but really only directing them at Ukraine and not Russia, and saying Europe is practically not present at the table, saying that in his mind, that's a big mistake.
The talks were aimed at trying to find an off-ramp to the war. First look traffic, Ricky, wow.
I know.
We get hit hard with snow here.
Old Man Winter finally decided to show up and represent in Utah today.
No doubt about it.
All over the entire state. But right now, I was just watching a live traffic camera where snowplows with UDOT 4 wide went southbound I-15 through Springville, where we have a lot of reduced visibility. We have some stop-and-go traffic where we're getting hit in Salt Lake County pretty hard right now. Northbound I-15, 2100 south to downtown. Anywhere there's snow, conditions could be slick and hazardous. Today is not the day to be an aggressive driver. You want to be patient, and you want to have those lights and wipers on. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL News Time, 12:07.
Hi, this is Derek Overstreet, president of the New Millennium Group and co-host of Stop Working, Start Living with KSL News Radio. Can you imagine what your life would be like if you could retire 3 to 5 years earlier than you thought possible? The things you could do, the loved ones you could spend time with, the memories that you could create. That's what our team at the New Millennium Group does. We'll walk you through the entire process every step of the way. If you'd like to get a copy of the 5-step proprietary plan that will help you retire 3 to 5 years sooner than you thought possible, give us a shout right now. 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com. Listen, most of our listeners right now have a tax problem, not a money problem. There's not enough money in Social Security Medicare as it is. Let us show you how you can significantly reduce your taxes. That's 888-999-6370, 888-999-6370, or utahsfinancialplanner.com.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Thank you for joining us for Midday. Recapping our top story, you know what it is. The snow is coming down across the Wasatch Front, with the worst of it hitting the upper elevations. UHP, though, encouraging drivers to slow down, and we'll get a complete update of your drive. Double team traffic coming up in just a moment. Highland High School is warning families to watch for potential signs of measles after a student attended school over a week ago while contagious. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis reports.
The school says the student went to school on Friday, February 6th, then went back on Monday and stayed for the rest of the week. Salt Lake County Health Department says this student was not vaccinated, and any other unvaccinated student has a 90% chance of catching the disease if they had contact with the infected student. The health department says the virus can actually linger in rooms where the contagious person was for up to 2 hours.
And those students and parents have been notified about the problem. More people are taking vacations to sleep. KSL News Radio's Alexandria Bonilla has more.
These sleepcations are kind of the opposite of how people usually travel. There is no itinerary, and the point is to get solid rest. The Wall Street Journal reports hotels and resorts across the world are taking note. Many are starting to offer special sleep packages, coming with eye masks, sleep gummies, skincare products, bath bombs, and weighted blankets. Some sleep experts are not on board, saying it's a temporary fix for a broken work-life balance, and consistent, sufficient sleep is best. Alexandria Bonilla, KSL News Radio.
Double team traffic for this snowy afternoon. It's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.44% on savings at uccu.com. Ricky?
Well, Maria, this storm is going to last for a while, and it's going to move, but certainly the higher elevations have been hit pretty hard here in the valley in Salt Lake County, where we're seeing road snow accumulation with slick and sometimes hazardous driving conditions on the east side of the valley. It's I-215's East Belt and on I-80 between Foothill and I-15 both directions. On the opposite side of the valley, the storm has reached I-80, and that's anywhere between I-15 to about 5600 west, just past the airport, where things seem to die down a bit. I-215's West Belt also seeing the storm affect its drive with reduced speeds either direction between 2100 south on up to Legacy, but northbound I-15 in Salt Lake County. The worst of the storm is right now centered over about South Salt Lake between 33rd South on up into Davis County to Centerville and onto Lagoon. The worst speeds absolutely on the northbound side from the I-80 201 junction to the 6 South exit downtown. Legacy also packed in and slow with the snow, and that's the entire route, especially on the northbound side from I-215 up to I-15. We've actually seen improvement on Highway 89 in Davis County. Still a little busy, and weather conditions remain between SR 193 up to the Walmart. I-84 also seeing some improvement at the mouth of Weber Canyon. But we still have a big valley to cover. What's happening in those canyons, Tito?
We have road restrictions now in effect for both directions on I-80 in Parley's Canyon. Widespread snow coverage with vehicles having trouble traveling both east and westbound, including stop-and-go delays westbound from the summit to the valley. Also a difficult drive in Big and Little Cottonwood Canyon. They have been getting hit with heavy snowfall for hours. Restrictions are now in place for each, and the traction law is in effect for both directions. And in Utah County, we're seeing slow speeds going both directions on I-15 between Orem and Spanish Fork, slick road conditions, and reduced visibility. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
Valley snow likely today with highs topping in the upper 30s, breezy at times. Overnight, 19 degrees with things drying out generally. 36, partly cloudy on Thursday. Thursday night into Friday, I got snow showers with a high of only 35 Friday afternoon. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Looks like we have a little bit of everything in downtown Salt Lake City right now. Snowing, it's foggy, it's windy, and 30 degrees. Coming up on Midday with Maria Shilaos, we'll hear a little bit about Lent and Ramadan. That's marking the beginning of both holidays. That's coming up, streaming live at kslnewsradio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We are Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that, cools up to 8 times faster, and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side, your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed, plus free home delivery with any bed and base. Ends Monday. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-230-2777.
This is Jeff Stout with Fink and McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple. Let's talk conventional versus FHA loans. Both offer cash-out refinances up to 80% loan-to-value or LTV, so which is best for you? It's kind of like Uber and Lyft. I always compare the two before booking a ride. Conventional loans don't have mortgage insurance under 80% LTV. However, the rates and costs get higher with lower credit scores, cash-out, and high LTVs. FHA loans always have mortgage insurance, but the rates are lower, they don't penalize you for cash out and high LTV loans, and they allow for higher debt-to-income ratios. FHA often results in lower payment even with mortgage insurance. We can analyze your situation within minutes. Call us today. Fink and McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple, 801-264-9494. That's 264-9494. Or on the web at finkmcgregor.com. NMLS 289115.
Getting help with electrical repairs is easier than you think. All you have to do is call Any Hour Services or schedule an appointment at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
KSL News Time, 12:16. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First,
Utah lawmakers for now have shot down a proposal that would have allowed doctors not to perform medical procedures that go against their religious beliefs or their conscience. I'm KSL News Radio's Adam Small.
Second, the snow is hitting hard, leading to some major issues on the road. Third, traffic and weather together, Ricky.
And those roads in the canyons, particularly rough. Right now, I'm looking at a live shot of reduced visibility in Parley's Canyon with heavy delays and a lot of road snow accumulation through the canyon, especially on the westbound side, as well as Sardine Canyon, Highway 8991 in Box Elder. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Snow likely today, but drier tomorrow. I'm Matt Johnson.
Snowing and 30 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Time now for KSL's top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The partial government shutdown continuing with lawmakers away this week. Democrats pushing for reforms to immigration operations and the tactics ICE and Border Patrol use to restore DHS funding. It includes banning agents from wearing face masks and requiring issued warrant. The White House has signaled those are non-starters. At the same time, President Trump says he's willing to meet with Democrats. ABC's Jay O'Brien says the DHS is also facing scrutiny for defying court orders.
A federal judge appointed by President George W. Bush in Minnesota recently said in a ruling that ICE has violated nearly 100 court orders across the country by his count, writing that ICE, quote, likely violated more court orders last month than some federal agencies have violated in their entire existence.
The partial shutdown impacts TSA workers, and if it continues, travel could be impacted during spring break. Meta and Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg taking the stand today in Los Angeles in a lawsuit trial accusing social media companies of making its platforms addictive for younger users. The plaintiff, who is now 20, says when she was younger, she got hooked on social media and that it contributed to her developing anxiety, depression, and body image issues. More from ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
In a statement, Meta says that the evidence will show she faced many significant, difficult challenges well before she ever used social media. We did see in testimony last week, Instagram's boss pointed to safety features for young users, but the plaintiff's lawyers say that those safety features have had little impact.
It is the first time Zuckerberg has gone before a jury on the issue. In Arizona, the search for Nancy Guthrie continues. Investigators using technology to try and trace any signals of the 84-year-old's pacemaker. She's been missing for more than 2 weeks. And in Northern California, a desperate search continuing for 9 missing backcountry skiers following an avalanche yesterday near Castle Peak, not far from Donner's Pass.
You're listening to ABC News.
And we do have some breaking news here on KSL News Radio. We are learning that those 8 missing skiers who were caught in an avalanche have now been found dead. We'll bring you more details as we get them right here on KSL News Radio. Time now for the KSL In-Depth. 2 different religious holidays begin today, Ramadan and Lent. Both holidays actually have one factor in common, and that is fasting. Imam Shuaib from the Utah Islamic Center joined Inside Sources to talk about what it means to them.
The Quranic verse is, "O you who believe, fasting has been prescribed for you as it has been prescribed for those before you." So, going off of what you made in the introductory comments, that religions use fasting to get closer to God. So the Quran mentions that it has been prescribed on those nations, those faith traditions that came before you. You are not being singled out for fasting. So it's a means. First of all, it's a month in which the Quran was revealed. The initial verses of the Quran were revealed in this month. So it is a month of coming closer to the Quran, but it is also a month to focus on your soul, because we all living in a very materialistic world. Sometimes the spark of the divine that is in us gets almost snuffed out. So it is the month to reignite that spark and to build our relationship with our Creator and to meditate on the Quran, the meaning of the Quran, to strengthen our fellowship with other fellow human beings. And also it is a month of generosity. So it is a very spiritual time of the year for us.
Father John Evans of the Diocese of Salt Lake City also explained what it means within Catholicism.
In our tradition, the fasting, it's a spiritual tool, you could say, that helps us have a heightened sense of what we are intending, what we're about, what we're wanting. So when we fast and we have hunger, the pangs of hunger, it's a subtle reminder of what we're doing. So in this case of having repentance, humility before God, wanting greater communion with God, that fasting or that little sacrifice of what you're making, there's a physical reminder in it for you. It's kind of like the idea how people put rubber bands on their wrist and they, to remind themselves of something. It does the same when we fast. But there's a sacrificial quality to it as well, because not only can you do it for that reminder, but you could also fast and, for example, take the monetary value of that meal and donate that for the hungry, for the poor, or maybe even provide a meal for the poor, right? So it can be expanded in a number of different ways, but the primary part of it is to draw us more deeply into our communion with God and the purpose of what we're doing.
Lent continues up to Easter, but Ramadan continues until March 19th. Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. And we have double team coverage beginning with Ricky Meese.
Right now, I'm seeing a lot of blowing snow, very heavy, and this is not the kind of snow you want to be driving in if you don't have to. And this is on I-215's West Belt, anything west of I-15 Salt Lake over to the airport. I-80 getting some accumulation, but the West Belt seeing heavy delays from West Valley up to Legacy with an accident near 7th North that did have traffic completely stopped at one point. And the reduced visibility between the snowfall, heavy at times, and low-lying clouds. Maria, it's hard to see anything through the cameras right now. So that's why lights and wipers need to be on if you're traveling I-15. The snow causing slow speeds. South Salt Lake, all the way up to Farmington, Kaysville, and Layton. Legacy also seeing snow and slow speeds, as well as Highway 89 from Kaysville up to the I-84 junction over to the east I-80 between Foothill and I-15 and I-215's East Belt. Both of those roadways dealing with snow and slow speeds right now. If you don't have to be out don't. But if you do have to be out, reduce your speeds. Tito?
Treacherous driving conditions with road restrictions in place, both directions I-80 Parley's Canyon. Widespread snowfall with stop-and-go delays driving westbound from the summit down to the valley. Utah County seeing slower speeds, but some slight improvement going both directions. I-15 between Provo and Orem. Snowplows have been active in the area. Highway 6 Spanish Fork Canyon seeing heavy snow accumulation, especially at Soldier Summit. While you're planning your day, plan for comfort too with the Good Feet store. Find the location nearest you at goodfeet.com. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. It's been a while, but we've got valley snow in the forecast. 39 the high. Some of this snow could be heavy at times. By evening hours and into the overnight, should calm down. I've got a 36 and partly cloudy on Thursday. Friday, 35, snow showers. Into Saturday, 40 degrees, mostly sunny. We'll warm it to 48 on Sunday, partly cloudy skies. Mostly cloudy Monday, 52. And then another storm in the forecast on Tuesday with a high of 53. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Well, hello, winter. Right now it's snowing hard in downtown Salt Lake City. Also foggy, a bit windy, and 30 degrees. The 7-day forecast is brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
When you crash your car, you get it fixed. When your computer crashes, you get a new one. But what will you do if you've been saving in a 401k or an IRA and the market crashes? If you're in your 30s or 40s, you'll be just fine. But if you're in or near retirement, you could be in trouble. Mike Stevens and his team at Capital Wealth Advisors are here to help. They can run a risk analysis to see if you're too heavily invested in the market. Don't let the ups and downs of Wall Street control you or your retirement dreams. Call 801-210-5500 today to schedule your risk analysis with Mike Stevens and the team at Capital Wealth Advisors. That's 801-210-5500. Crashes happen. Question is, are you ready? Capital Wealth Advisors, 801-210-5500. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Advisory services offered through Capital Wealth Advisors, LLC, a state of Utah registered investment advisor.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep, deep discounts. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
He's coming. Here he goes. Surprise! Your table saw broke. Also, the warranty expired weeks ago, so you need to pay for a new one out of pocket.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Oh, and the replacement part you ordered doesn't fit, so it's completely useless. What a waste.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Watching Utah's money, the Dow is up by 135 points, about 0.25%, sitting at 49,668. S&P up by more than 0.5%, up 39 points. And the NASDAQ up nearly a full percent, up by 203 points.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Join Amanda Dixon this Friday, 3 to 5 at the Salt Lake NPS store at 1600 Empire Road, npsstore.com. Traffic and weather, it's brought to you by UCCU. Up to $500 for loan transfers. Love where you bank. Here's Ricky Meese.
Heavy snowfall at times, blowing winds, low clouds. It's reduced visibility if you're in an area where it is snowing. So keep those lights and wipers on. And this storm is affecting roads anywhere from about 33rd South, freeways included, all the way into Davis County up to Layton. Tito?
I-80 in Summit County experiencing winter driving conditions between Kimball and Wanship. Delays appear to be breaking up on Highway 40 between I-80 and Heber. Utah County, no restrictions for Provo Canyon, but seeing heavy snowfall and slow speeds throughout. And on I-15, slow speeds still in effect, going both directions between Lehigh and Spanish Fork. When you need the financial products and services for every stage of life, Cypress Credit Union is there for whatever the future holds. Visit cypresscu.com today. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
Calling for highs in the upper 30s today, snow likely and could be heavy at times. Overnight, 19 degrees, partly to mostly cloudy skies with a mountain flurry. Tomorrow, 36, partly cloudy skies, but late Thursday into Friday could see another round of light snow. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Heavy snow, 30 degrees downtown.
You're listening to Midday with Maria Shilaos
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon. KSL News Time, 1231. KSL's top story this half hour. And it is developing news. 8 of the 9 missing skiers in California have been found dead. Nevada County officials say it's officially one of the deadliest avalanches in modern California history. It happened early this morning. 6 skiers were found alive soon after. 2 people were admitted to the hospital. 1 has been released and the other is expected to be released soon. The county reported that they were found close together and were part of a group of 15. The snow is coming down along the Wasatch Front and is causing problems all over the roads. Utah Highway Patrol Lieutenant Cameron Roden joined me at the top of the hour with the latest.
We are still seeing issues from up in Box Elder County. They've got quite a few crashes going on. Sardine Canyon is closed right now as they work to get some of those crashes towards the mouth of Brigham, the canyon right there in Brigham City cleared out to reopen that canyon. We've got about 18 or 19 crashes between Salt Lake and Utah County going on as well. I also spoke with the Cedar City area. They've had some semis crash just south of Cedar City that are affecting the lanes down there.
We will continue to have double team coverage from our traffic center. Stay with KSL for updates on the road conditions. Bryan Head Resort got 21 inches of snow in the past 48 hours. The resort says this onslaught means it can open 100% of its terrain and all 8 of its chairlifts. We are learning that the mother, who police believe killed herself and her daughter while attending a cheer competition in Las Vegas, had a long history with the courts as they went through a messy custody battle. KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson has been digging into her background and joins us live with the latest. Heather?
Maria, 34-year-old Tanya McGeehan and Addie's dad filed for divorce in 2015, and he remarried. McGeehan was charged with custodial interference multiple times, as well as disorderly conduct. A couple of those instances reportedly involved domestic violence. We do know that in the span of their 9-year custody battle, there was at least one instance of McGeehan and Addie's stepmother physically fighting over Addie outside her school, and Addie's stepmom claims she was assaulted. However, the court documents say on video, Addie was seen holding onto her mom, crying as McGeehan told her she loved her and that she had to go with her stepmom. McGeehan reportedly had problems with other women as well. Her mother told the New York Post she had some conflicts with a couple other moms from Addie's cheer team, and things got really bad a month ago. She also said McGeehan had struggled with depression her whole life, but had seemed to turn a corner recently. Reporting live Live, Heather Peterson, KSL News Radio.
A Provo man is being charged with impersonating an officer and threatening to use violence after he told the real police he was mad at a guy who cut him off in traffic. KSL News Radio's Randall Jepson has more.
A man living in Provo called police saying another driver got really mad at him for changing lanes near his car. That other driver started honking, following him, and the man told officers he had his wife and kids in the car with him. And he drove around until he thought that other guy had stopped following. But after he made it home, the other driver pulled up. He's now identified as Mark Mathis, and he got out and started talking into a radio as if he was an officer. Court documents say Mathis then told the driver ICE was on the way, and if he had a gun, he'd shoot him right there. The encounter was recorded on a cell phone video, which helped police track down Mathis. Randall Jepson, KSL News Radio.
2 children were taken to the hospital after their house caught fire in Richfield this morning. Police say emergency crews were called around 10 to a home on 4th East. They say 1 adult, 2 kids were inside the home, and both children had to receive care. Their current status is unknown. KSL's top national stories. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg is testifying in front of a jury today for the first time ever. ABC's Melissa Adon has more.
This is a landmark trial, and it all hangs on whether his company Meta deliberately targeted kids with social media's design features. Also, we know that it was packed there. Overnight, we had heard that people were trying to get onto the steps of the courthouse to guarantee a seat inside that packed courtroom. There was even a lottery. All of this is huge because all of this, of course, hangs on the fact that this is the first time a jury will determine whether social media companies can be held liable for design choices that help keep kids tuned into social media.
A 19-year-old plaintiff is suing Meta, claiming the platform is designed to be addictive and affect young people's mental health. First look traffic. Ricky Mee still coming down hard downtown.
Not only is our streets here in around Broadcast House and all of Salt Lake City slushy and slick, this is a widespread storm, Maria. Right now, we're trying to confirm conditions in both Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons. We do have a closure in Big Cottonwood Canyon at Donut Falls, and that's due to congestion. The canyons received so much snow last night. People are anxious to get up to the slopes, but they're not going to make it. So just be aware if you wanted to take advantage of this powder. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL News Time, 1237.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Hey folks, it's Jay Broadbent here with Alpine Home Medical, celebrating 28 years of keeping Utah and Idaho comfortable and at home. Back in '97, I started with a truck, a dream, and a lot more hair. Today, we've got 11 stores from Idaho Falls to St. George. From the moment you step into our clean, welcoming showrooms, you'll feel the Alpine difference. Our team will be there to listen and guide you to the best solutions for your needs. We believe that the right equipment can transform lives. We're honored to be a part of your healthcare journey and to help you live the life you deserve. Visit us online at alpinehomemedical.com. That's alpinehomemedical.com.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
I was ordering food for the office from the same few places for too long.
For workplaces suffering with office food fatigue, every day's a struggle.
Before starting Easy Cater, I assumed having no good vegan options for Carl in finance was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat OFF with a huge variety of favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Used daily, one platform lets you save time and shine. Ask your app store about Easy Cater or start an order at easycater.com.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though. I'm freaking out. Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
And thank you for joining us for Midday. Recapping our top story, the snow is causing some major issues. Big Cottonwood Canyon is closed at Donut Falls. We are working to confirm if Little Cottonwood Canyon is closed as well. We will continue to follow these issues for you. I understand that right now we have the National Weather Service on with us, and I'm not sure who's joining me. Who's with me this morning?
This is Monica Traphagen.
Hi. Thank you, Monica, for being with us. Tell us about this crazy weather. We're getting hit hard.
Yeah, we're finally getting a storm this season. We've got, this big Pacific storm system brought a strong cold front along with it. Got hung up over the lake a little bit. That's why the snow started a little bit later than we were anticipating. But as we got to the late morning and here around midday, the front with all of its cold air and moisture came through, and we've got heavy snow in pockets along the Wasatch Front, as well as in the adjacent mountains. And we've seen some strong winds with this as well, gusts in excess of 30 miles per hour along with the snow, which causes areas of blowing snow that reduce visibility and can cause travel difficulties. The other thing that can cause problems with the travel is, the air cooling suddenly, and now we've got the roads that are cool enough for things to stick. And when you have these heavy snow rates, you get what's a flash freeze on the roads, and that can make things quite slick for everybody. And so that's where some of the issues are coming from.
Monica, how long do we expect this to last?
For northern Utah area, it looks like we'll have, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, more of this before the storms become more spotty in nature. And then for the valleys, we'll see things taper off in the early evening, but continuing through the evening for the mountains.
And the biggest areas of concern here along the Wasatch Front?
Yeah, right now that's our biggest concern area.
All right, Monica, thank you so much for being with me.
No problem. Have a good one.
That is Monica Traphagen with the National Weather Service joining me. We do have some breaking news. All departing flights at the Salt Lake International Airport have been grounded due to the onslaught of snow and ice. The FAA announced a ground stop on their website right now. It will continue until 1:30, but that could be extended. We have reached out to the airport for comment, and what I need to say is just make sure you check your flights before you head to the airport. It's pretty scary out there right now, and if your flight isn't taking off as planned, you're going to want to know that. Let's get you up to date with traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.44% on savings at uccu.com. The latest, Ricky?
This has been a moving storm, and so what is just snow-packed at 1 minute, 10 minutes later, the road is clearing. But where we're still seeing slick and possible slow conditions, it's along I-80 from the airport over to I-15 either direction. I-215's West Belt between 2100 South up to Legacy. I-80 on the east side in the valley and the East Belt. Now, we've had a lot of snow come through, a lot of it blowing snow, causing reduced visibility and slick driving conditions. If you're on I-15, expect reduced speeds and a nasty drive with this storm, anywhere from 33rd South up to Lagoon. Highway 89 also seeing winter driving conditions, Farmington to I-84. And now I-84 is also getting a second round of this storm, even though UDOT plows have been through, taking a swipe at the mouth of Weber Canyon. Snow and slick conditions possible between Mountain Green over to Riverdale at I-15. Eric, Tito?
Treacherous driving conditions remain in place with road restrictions going both directions. I-80 Parley's Canyon. Heavy snow accumulation with stop-and-go delays still remain westbound from the summit down to the valley. Still gathering information, Little and Big Cottonwood Canyon, but it appears we have some heavy restrictions there. Utah County I-15 still seeing slower speeds due to slick conditions going both directions between Lehigh and Spanish Fork. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
Tracking a dynamic cold front today, temperatures will top in the upper 30s with snow that could be heavy at times. Overnight, we're going to calm things down, 19 degrees. Tomorrow, 36, partly cloudy. Friday, snow showers, 35. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And still snowing hard in downtown Salt Lake City, 28 degrees. Coming up on Midday, we will talk with Michelle McComber with the Utah Medical Association about a bill that would have allowed doctors to not perform medical procedures that go against their religious beliefs. That's coming up, streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We are Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
If you've ever experienced running out of hot water before your shower was done, or hard water spots on dishes and fixtures, I've got a deal you might be interested in. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and you probably already know that a tankless water heater and a water softener solve both issues. If you've ever thought about looking into getting a tankless water heater, here's the deal I was talking about. Through the end of February, we're including a free water softener with every new tankless water heater we install. The best part of this deal might be that you never have to worry about being the last one to the shower again, or that you don't have to waste the money keeping 40 to 50 gallons of water hot 24/7. To take advantage of this deal, call Any Hour Services before the end of February. The visit's free and there's no obligation to buy. If you decide to have us install a new tankless water heater, we'll throw in the water softener for free. That's right, a free water softener when you purchase a tankless water heater. Pick up the phone and call Any Hour Services right now for all the details. 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
You know, it's frustrating. It really is. You work your tail off for 40 plus years. The government takes 30 or 40% in taxes. Then they turn around and they waste your money. Americans are getting fed up, rightfully so. And that's why they're taking advantage of tax planning. Tax planning could significantly reduce your taxes, not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. Learn how much you could save in taxes when you retire with a free retirement tax savings analysis from Boss Retirement Solutions. If you've saved more than $300,000, schedule your free analysis now by calling 801-896-9622. Don't pay the government one more dime than you need to. Call today, 801-896-9622. That number again, 801-896-9622.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
KSL News Time 1246. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
the mother police believe killed her daughter and herself while at a cheer competition in Las Vegas had several past convictions related to a messy custody battle. Her mother also told news outlets she had a history of depression. I'm KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson.
Second, all departing flights out of Salt Lake International have been grounded at least until 1:30 as they remove snow and ice from the runway. Third, traffic and weather together, Ricky.
Snow and slick driving conditions on a lot of roadways in the lower elevations, but the higher elevations, the canyons have been slammed. That includes Sardine, Weber, Parley's, Big and Little Cottonwood, and Provo Canyon. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
A winter cold front bringing snow to the mountains and valleys. I'm Matt Johnson.
And our temperature has now dropped to 28 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Time now for KSL's top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In Northern California, a grim update for the missing backcountry skiers following yesterday's avalanche in the Tahoe National Forest near Donner's Pass. Nevada County Sheriff Shannon Moon says rescue teams found 8 skiers deceased and are still looking for the 9th missing skier.
It's a very remote, rugged area on the north side of the highway there. It is not a groomed area or a ski resort area. This is a backcountry area, rugged terrain.
The sheriff calls it the deadliest ski-related avalanche in U.S. history, triggered by a winter storm that dumped more than 4 feet of snow yesterday. 6 skiers with the same backcountry group were rescued last night. In Arizona, the search continuing for Nancy Guthrie. Authorities working to find out where the suspect seen on doorbell video purchased his clothing. Teams also using high-tech devices to locate possible signals from Guthrie's pacemaker. And it's the second day of trilateral talks resumed today between the U.S., Russia, and Ukraine. They lasted about 2 hours. This is ABC.
Time now for the KSL In-Depth. The bill that would have allowed doctors to refuse to perform medical procedures that go against their religious beliefs almost passed this morning. The tie-breaking vote was not cast, which killed that bill. CEO of the Utah Medical Association, Michelle McComber, joins me now live. Michelle, thanks for being with me, even though this bill didn't quite make it through. What do you think of this bill and the fact that it came so close to advancing?
Well, first off, I'd like to say this was not our bill. We weren't pushing it. The physicians weren't pushing it. We're not exactly sure who brought the bill forward. We do believe that physicians can exercise religious freedom and conscientious objection in treatment, and they do every day. But this bill was just pushing the envelope way too far. So we actually did not support the bill. If the bill had simply said that a provider could not be penalized for exercising the rights that they already have, it would have been a different story. But the bill opens the door to all sorts of discrimination, and so we were not in support of this bill.
Yeah, how would a law like this affect the Hippocratic Oath that doctors take?
Well, I think it would, because it does open the door for discrimination in the way that is something that doctors are not looking for, right? I mean, it's not that they don't want to discriminate. And so this particular bill would have just pushed the envelope to say you could object for whatever reason, basically, because there was no definition of conscience or anything else in the bill. So just open the door wide for doing things for any particular reason and not even necessarily having to have any kind of good reason to refuse to do something. So we, again, did not support the bill. We are actually sitting down with the sponsor of the bill to talk to him about it, but we were okay with the fact that it didn't pass committee.
Okay. Are you concerned that since there was only one vote needed, that this could come up again this session?
It could, and that's another reason why we're sitting down with the sponsor. If the bill, again, had said, in federal statute right now, healthcare providers have the right to refuse to perform certain healthcare services or participate in certain healthcare activities if doing so would be contrary to their religious beliefs or moral convictions. And it did mention those particular protections under federal law in the bill. If it had clearly just said you can't discriminate against a provider that is doing that, that would have been something different. But again, this expands to also saying that insurers don't have to pay for things if they have a conscientious objection without defining even what that is. So we do have a lot of concerns about where the bill is, what is in this particular bill.
All right, Michelle, thank you so much for being with me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
That is Michelle McComber. She's the CEO of the Utah Medical Association. Let's get you up to date on this drive. It's kind of a crazy one. Traffic and weather is brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Ricky, what's the latest?
It's pretty nasty out there, and if you're traveling or trying to travel any of the Salt Lake County Valley freeways, the East Belt and I-80 in the valley, both of those freeways have seen their fair share of snow, and we have slow speeds and nasty driving conditions. But from I-15, from South Salt Lake up through Davis County into Layton and all the way up to Weber County's Ogden area, off and on snowstorm issues coming through that stretch. I-215's West Belt is another nasty spot. We've had an accident on the northbound side after 7th North, and that has really stacked up and backed up traffic past the 201 junction. And then Highway 89 also seeing snow and slow speeds in Davis County, as well as I-84 either direction between I-15 and Riverdale over to Mountain Green. Tito?
I-80 in Summit County experiencing winter driving conditions between Kimball and Wanship. Delays appear to be in better shape on Highway 40 between I-80 and Heber. Restricted uphill traffic in Little Cottonwood Canyon, and Big Cottonwood Canyon is closed at Donut Falls Trailhead due to congestion. Authorities are reporting upwards of 3,000 plus cars in the canyon. Utah County, no restrictions for Provo Canyon, but seeing heavy snowfall and slow speeds. Are you tired of dealing with missing teeth? Are you ready to ditch the dentures? The experts at Stubbs Dental can change your life with dental implants. Get started at stubbsdental.com today. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. Yes, we are calling for some valley snow today. High of 39. Some of these snow showers could be heavy. 36 tomorrow, partly cloudy, looks dry. Friday, snow showers, 35 degrees. We'll bump it to 40 and mostly sunny skies on Saturday. Sunday, partly cloudy, 48. We continue to warm to 52 on Monday, mostly cloudy skies. Headed into Tuesday next week, how about another storm system? Looks a little bit warmer. We'll call it rain showers with a high of 53. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Snow is still coming down hard, 28 degrees downtown. The 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. It's great to have a lot of choices when you are considering taking off those extra pounds. And if you've been thinking about losing weight, you've just really struggled with your weight, you've probably heard all about these GLP-1 injections for weight loss, but there are a lot of things you should consider. I mean, you could spend $3,000 to $5,000 per year, and to stay on that medication long term and to maintain results. Now, many prescription weight loss injections require weekly shots as well, and when the medication is stopped, the weight regain is common. I've been telling you for the last couple of years how I have lost more than 40 pounds with the help of Salt Lake City Fat Loss, and the reason I chose this over something quicker, something like injections, is just because they have really taught me how to keep this weight off. It is a doctor-developed program. It helps men and women lose 20 to 40 pounds in just 60 days, safely and naturally. No injections, no synthetic hormones, no long-term dependence on them. And that's why their clients have trusted Salt Lake City Fat Loss for real, lasting results. And you can still save $200 this month through the month of February with their resolution reset. Just contact them today at slcfatloss.com, slcfatloss.com, slcfatloss.com.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
KSL News Time is 12:25, and watching Utah's money at this hour. Markets are in really great shape. The Dow is up by 84 points. That's about not quite 0.25%, sitting at 49,617. S&P up by 30, and the NASDAQ gets up by 152 points.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep, deep discounts. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandswimspasale.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Respiratory virus season is quickly approaching, meaning we'll see more flu, COVID, and RSV in our community. The good news is vaccines are available that will help prevent these infections and keep people healthy. For flu and COVID, everyone aged 6 months and older are recommended to be vaccinated to help protect ourselves and our families against serious illness. Fall remains the best time to be vaccinated. Respiratory viruses circulate year-round, but peak late fall through winter. Your doctor can recommend which vaccines are best for you and your family.
Brought to you by Intermountain Health and KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Up to $500 for loan transfers. Love where you bank. Ricky Meese, boy.
Just a nasty
Got our
day.
hands full, right?
Oh, we do. A nasty day to be out on the roads if you don't have to. Think about staying home and cuddling up and just a bowl of chili. That's the better option. Anywhere there's snow, there is slow speeds, particularly northbound I-215's westbound from 2100 south up to Rose Park. Tito?
Little Cottonwood restricting uphill traffic. Big Cottonwood closed at Donut Falls Trailhead due to congested traffic. I-80's Parley's experiencing treacherous driving conditions between Park City and Foothill. Arrive in style for all of life's events, from the first suit to the first dance, preparing to serve or starting a life together. Every age, every milestone. For nearly 60 years, Mr. Mac, helping you look your best for all of life's events. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
And this wet weather is expected to continue at least for the next hour or so. 80% chance of snow. Tomorrow, that chance decreasing to a 30% chance. Right now, 28 degrees downtown.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Winter arrives late here in Utah after a dry and mild winter so far. The Wasatch Front and back finally getting hammered with snow.
This snowfall could be heavy at times and will likely linger into the early afternoon.
The ongoing storm also creating issues on Utah's roads and highways. Utah Highway Patrol urging drivers to slow down, especially in whiteout conditions that many are seeing around the area.
If we can get people to slow down a little bit more, sometimes people think that the speed limit is still 70 miles per hour, but they need to slow down much more than that for these type of conditions.
The time is 1 o'clock on Wednesday, February 18th. It's midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Coming up, Wasatch Storm Watch. We have special coverage on midday looking at the forecast, the roads, the ski resorts, and the potential avalanche danger. Also this hour, a potential rift forming between the Trump administration and Utah legislators over artificial intelligence. A Utah lawmaker pushing back.
It doesn't touch development, which means it doesn't stifle innovation.
We will go in depth on this story coming up at 1:30. But first, our top stories. Breaking news, all flights have been grounded in Salt Lake City due to the snow and icy conditions. This is according to the FAA that has reported a ground stop at Salt Lake International Airport. It says this will continue at least until 1:45. Arrivals are also delayed by an average of 30 minutes. Utah lawmakers have voted against a bill that would have allowed doctors and insurance companies not to provide certain care based on their religious beliefs. KSL News Radio's Adam Small has more.
State Senator Kevin Stratton's bill would have allowed providers and insurance companies not to do or cover procedures based on their religious beliefs or their conscience, though doctors would be required to notify their employer ahead of time, and they would not be able to opt out of procedures done in an emergency setting. University of Illinois law professor Robin Wilson was among those presenting the bill.
Senate Bill 174 permits individual practitioners to step aside, but it does not deprive the public of services.
Though several public commenters voiced concern this could potentially create barriers to care, State Senator Jen Plum, who's worked in medicine for more than 20 years, said there are already a number of ways doctors can pass on a procedure. She also said she's worried about doctors potentially having a wide range of reasons to refuse care.
I think that this is not needed. And I think we're crossing into some very dangerous space here.
The bill failed to advance out of committee on a tie vote. Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
Our top national story from ABC News, House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries remains firm that Democrats will not back down from their demands to reform the Department of Homeland Security amid a partial shutdown.
ICE needs to conduct itself like every other law enforcement agency in the country and stop using taxpayer dollars to brutalize the American people.
Jeffries says that if their demands are not met, the funding bill will not move forward. Taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow is up by 84 points, sitting at 49,617. S&P up by 30. The NASDAQ up by 152 points. We do have emergency traffic coverage for you. It's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.4% on savings at UCCU.com. Ricky?
Wherever there's snow, there are crashes and likely slick driving conditions. One of the worst is northbound I-215's West Belt due to a crash at about 12th North, backing traffic through West Valley. I-15 also hit from South Salt Lake through Davis County, and I-15 in Utah County. Winter driving conditions and slow speeds between the Point through Spanish Fork. Tito?
We're getting reports that Little Cottonwood is restricting uphill traffic, and Big Cottonwood Canyon is closed at Donut Falls Trailhead due to congestion. I-80 Parley is experiencing difficult driving conditions between Park City and Foothill. Common Spirit hospitals, clinics, and caregivers, all connected to advanced health care in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Healthcare with human kindness is here. Hello, human kindness. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
Snow expected to continue for the next couple of hours. We're going to get the very latest coming up in just a moment, but I will tell you still 30% chance of showers tomorrow, 50% chance on Friday. 28 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
Mornings are for recharging.
And they're for starting your day right.
We volunteer to join you in the car. Get news and weather at 102.7 FM during the most important part of your day.
Andy and Amanda, each morning between 5 and 9 on KSL News Radio.
Any Hour Services can help you make sure your furnace keeps you warm this winter. Whether you need a tune-up, a repair, or a second opinion about replacing it, call Any Hour Services or visit anyhourservices.com.
We'll admit, we've already thrown in the towel on the New Year's resolution.
Yeah, and we made it through dry January. But one healthy new habit we're sticking with is Active Liver from New Nordic. Did you know your liver works around the clock processing food, sugar, alcohol, and everyday toxins? All things that can really impact your health.
That's why daily support matters. Active Liver is designed to help protect normal liver function and support your body's natural detox process.
With trusted ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and artichoke extract, it's gentle enough to take all year long.
No harsh cleanses, no extreme detoxes, just simple daily liver support. We really feel the difference.
Yup, more energy and the peace of mind knowing we can enjoy the good things in life while giving our liver the love it needs.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
A family office is a team built to handle the three biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm, under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 801-207-9900. That's 801-207-9900.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Thanks for tuning into Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. We are continuing to track developing news this hour as areas around the Wasatch Front and the Wasatch Back continue to get pummeled by the snow. It wasn't super terrible for the morning drive, thank goodness, but throughout the late morning and into the early afternoon, we have seen decreased visibility and snow sticking to yards and roadways around northern Utah. Right now, I'm seeing snow still coming down, pretty slushy roads. At Salt Lake International Airport, all flights have been grounded due to the snow and icy conditions. Wasatch Storm Watch, we have special coverage on Midday. We're going to take a look at the roads at the airport, the ski resorts, and the avalanche danger. But first, let's get a check-in with KSL meteorologist Devin Mashuli. Finally, some decent snow here in the valley, Devin.
I know. We finally got more than 1/10 of an inch of snow at the airport especially, but really in other spots. So it's kind of nice to see, but it is a slushy mess.
It is a slushy mess, and the big question is, how long is it going to last?
It looks like we could see these heavier bands that we're kind of seeing being enhanced by the Great Salt Lake over the next couple of hours. It does look like things will wind down or at least begin to break apart, become more light and showery by 4 o'clock. And it could happen earlier around 3 o'clock. So at least the next couple of hours, we'll kind of continue to see these heavier bands right along the Wasatch Front. Then things will break apart for that evening commute. I mean, the slush is probably still going to be around, and that's still going to make things tricky this evening.
Okay. What about our temperatures, though? Are we going to have to worry about black ice?
Temperatures are going to fall into the low 20s tomorrow morning, some spots into the upper teens. So I imagine, yes, refreezing is definitely going to be a possibility, especially because of how much water is in this snow. It is very wet snow here in the valley. So I almost certainly would say that slick spots are going to be out there because of ice tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it dropped down to 28 degrees. So we've seen some fog also impacting visibility. That's the worst. Is that headed out anytime soon?
That will probably stick around at times, kind of in patches. I mean, when you have some stronger wind, that can kind of help erode the fog. But again, a lot of moisture and temperatures really close to that dew point temperature is going to lead to fog developing. So especially the higher up you go along the benches and up into the mountains, we have such low overcast clouds right now. So at times, I don't think it's going to be a widespread issue, though.
Okay, what are our snow totals like? Have you had a chance to look at what we're seeing?
I've seen about 1 to 2 inches in spots like Holiday and Sandy. Us here at Salt Lake, I still have to go up on the roof to measure. I haven't gotten up there yet.
I'm not sure I want you to go up there. Thanks, Devin.
Hey, I have to. And then about 4 to 5 inches, I've heard the Bountiful Bench. So the benches are kind of in that range that we were forecasting. And, you know, we have seen it melt a decent amount on the roadways, but I've heard in some of those other areas that haven't had a lot that is beginning to kind of already about 2 feet. In places like the Cottonwoods, like Alta, I believe they're reporting 23 inches as of earlier this morning, and it's probably way higher now. And then Bryan Head, I know they reported about 23 inches of snow in the last 2 hours. So very welcome snow, and hopefully areas like Snow Basin and Powder Mountain are up to about a foot. They might be a little bit higher now from those heavier pulses that have come off the Great Salt Lake.
Okay. Now this is a pretty heavy storm. I mean, it's a lot of snow for just a short period of time.
Yeah,
so
it is.
Yeah. So accumulations have been pretty good for a short period of time.
Yes, it has been. And I mean, 1 to 2 feet, you know, we got a lot of these storms last year. Like, this is normal for us to say, but it has been abnormal for this winter. So it really is one of our first that we've actually forecasted 1 to 3 feet, and we have seen it come into fruition, and we're not even done yet. So I'm excited to see how the totals continue to rack up, and it looks like the weather pattern after this will stay a little bit active. Might not be this strong, but at least we have a couple other instances.
And hopefully done by drive time.
Yeah, for this evening, I think there will still be some showers out there for drive time, but I don't think it will be as heavy as what we saw with that first pulse.
Thank you so much, Devin.
Yeah, no problem.
KSL 5 meteorologist Devin Mashuli joining me. Now, we're continuing to track the developing news at Salt Lake City International Airport as well, where all the flights have been grounded due to the winter conditions. Joining me live on Midday is Cindy Gallo, communications manager at the airport. Cindy, thanks for being with us. What is happening right now?
Hey, Maria. Yeah, we've got just a quick little ground stop. So this is very common when we have storms like this. It gives our snow crews a chance to get out there on the runway, clear it, and then open it back up so that operations can resume as normal. So what passengers may be experiencing are some temporary delays, but we have been planning for this. We have been ready. Our operations are out there making sure that people can still get where they need to go today.
So any idea how many flights have been impacted by this?
So far, we're only seeing about 4 that have either been canceled or delayed. But as always, it's a storm, so conditions will change. The best thing that we can advise passengers to do is get to the airport with plenty of time. We recommend at least 2 hours for domestic flights. Keep an eye on your flight information, either through your airline or through our website, slcairport.com.
You mentioned this is pretty normal for this time of year, but how bad does the weather have to be to really ground all flights?
It has to be pretty bad. Our snow plow teams are really on it. The equipment that we have is really built to make sure that planes can continue to operate in pretty bad weather. So safety is, of course, our number one priority. We just want to make sure that those runways are clear, and we're out there getting it done.
Okay, check the flights before you get to the airport, right?
Yep, exactly.
All right, Cindy, thank you so much for being with me.
Yep, have a good one.
You too. Cindy Gallows, the Salt Lake City Airport Communications Manager. The weather has caused quite a mess on the roads around northern Utah. The Wasatch Storm Watch, our special coverage continues. Let's get another check-in of the roads. Ricky Meese is tracking it all in the KSL Traffic Center. So, Ricky, where are the worst areas? You're going to say all of them, aren't you?
And the thing is, right now, freeways may not be as bad as some areas, but they get plowed first. And I was stuck behind 6 plows wide on northbound I-15 coming into KSL this morning, and I was never so grateful to be behind a slowdown because they were treating the road and trying to take care of business, and they did a great job. But as far as the Valley freeways, northbound I-215's west belt, north of I-80, and westbound to I-80 prior to 2300 East, both of those have stopped traffic right now due to crashes with these winter conditions. But I want to add one thing. We've seen blowing snow very heavy at times. That's very difficult to deal with in driving. The reduced visibility, oh wow, Maria, what I've seen in some of these traffic cameras have been awful at times. But definitely right now, the canyons, I-80, Sardine, so Sardine up north in Box Elder, I-80 in Parleys, and then Big and Little Cottonwood. They were just slammed and hammered with the amount of snow over the last several hours. Those are definitely the hot spots right now for winter driving. Yeah.
One of our texters saying both Little and Big Cottonwood Canyons are closed. Do you have a verification on that?
Well, we kind of do. What they're saying is they're restricting uphill traffic. But at the foot of Little Cottonwood Canyon, that overhead road sign says the canyon's closed. So, yeah. And Big Cottonwood Canyon, we're getting reports of hundreds of vehicles, congested traffic on Big Cottonwood Canyon. I was watching a traffic camera, and literally cars stuck in Big Cottonwood prior to Donut Falls had not moved within 30 to 40 minutes. Not an inch. So that's the time you turn off the engine. Technically, maybe we don't say it's fully closed. They may be letting downhill traffic go through, but not uphill. It's a different story for all of the canyons that we're seeing right now. And I did want to add, we talked about freezing temperatures and possible black ice. One tip that I would advise anyone, just think of bridges, ramps, and overpasses. Any road that has air going underneath will have the potential to freeze first and have very slick conditions. Don't drive over those at a high speed. Just slow down. Turn your lights on. And just take caution wherever you go.
We have a hard time slowing down, don't we?
We do.
Okay, thank you so much, Ricky. Ricky keeping us up to date on the roads. Stay with us. Our special coverage of the ongoing storm continues in just 60 seconds.
Progressive presents a guided meditation.
Hear the birds sing, a chipmunk nibbling on an acorn. Smell the pine needles gently falling into your living room as the breeze blows through the gaping hole in your roof. Gaze up at that broken tree branch and relax, because you bundled your home and auto with Progressive and have the peace of mind of 24/7 protection. So relaxing.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100.
Skiers, ski resorts around the area overjoyed at all the snow that's been falling with this storm. Many ski and snowboard areas facing quite a challenge with the season with low snow and warmer temperatures. Now, the snow falling today actually causing some issues, though, in the canyons. Alta Ski Area announcing it delayed opening due to several spin-offs on the road up Little Cottonwood Canyon. So let's get a check-in on how things are looking right now. I'm joined by Lexi Dowdle, Communications Manager at Alta Ski Area. So Lexi, bring us up to date. What's happening now?
Yeah, good afternoon, Maria. It's definitely been a slow start to our winter season here in Utah, and it really feels like we've turned a corner and flipped the switch here. So we're seeing snowfall rates exceeding 1 to 2 inches an hour up here in the Cottonwoods, and within the last couple hours, UDOT and the various police departments have actually restricted uphill traffic in both Big and Cottonwood Canyons, in both Big and Little, and it's just raging up here. We're so excited to see the return of winter.
I mean, 1 to 2 inches, that's pretty tough to keep up with.
Yeah, I think for this storm, we're actually we've recorded 22 inches in the last 12 hours. So that's, pretty substantial. And then 28 inches in the last 24 hours. And our storm total is creeping up to 37 inches. So it's been pretty full on the last 24 hours up here at Little Cottonwood Canyon.
Now you just need the skiers to be able to actually get there. So are the lifts running at all, or, what's happening?
Yeah, absolutely. We delayed our opening today this morning a little bit, and that was just due to avalanche mitigations, giving our ski patrol a chance to run their mitigation routes and get everything safe and prepare closures for ski areas. We certainly have a lot of run closures today just to keep everything buttoned up and to keep all the skiers safe. I do believe that the parking here at Alta, at Snowbird, and Brighton as well was all full. So UDOT made that decision to close the canyon due to the amount of congestion in the highway and the fact that this front is still moving through. We haven't seen the brunt of this storm yet, so we're expecting quite a bit more snowfall between now and this evening.
Okay, we need to know about the powder. I mean, have you been out there skiing, or what are your visitors saying?
Unfortunately, no. I haven't had a chance to make some turns today. Lots of updates to make for our skiers here on the World Wide Web. But I'm looking outside my window, and people are definitely stoked. They're braving the storm. It's pretty windy, and there's some whiteout conditions up here, but people are starving for some good turns. So there's a lot of enthusiasm. That's why all our parking lots here in Big and Little Cottonwood Canyon are full. So skiers and everybody are so excited to see the snow come back to Utah. We've been waiting quite some time now.
Yes, we have. Any concern about avalanche danger right now?
Yes, certainly. As we see these considerable snowfall rates, the avalanche hazard will climb. I believe Utah Avalanche has the rating set at considerable to high for today. So, of course, we have lots of snow safety professionals out in the mountains here between UDOT, Snowbird Ski Patrol, Alta Ski Patrol. Lots of folks are keeping an eye on things, and we're closely monitoring the situation. And, if the need arises to shut down the ski area, we will do that. We don't have an indication that would happen today, but if the need arises, our ski patrol will make that call.
All right, Lexi, thanks for bringing us up to date, and so glad we're finally getting some good snow.
Yeah, the season's only halfway over, so there's still plenty of opportunity for snow lovers to come up and enjoy this winter.
All right, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Absolutely. You have a great day.
You too. Joining me live from Alta Ski Area, that is Communications Manager Lexi Dowdle. Wasatch Storm Watch, our special coverage continues after the break. But first, it's traffic on KSL News Radio. It's brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. And here's Ricky Meese.
Well, as we just heard, Big Cottonwood Canyon, Little Cottonwood Canyon, fully loaded, no traffic going up. Downhill traffic, we'll keep an eye on that, but we are anticipating delays as the afternoon goes on. Westbound I-80, Parley's Canyon, both sides seeing very slow speeds and winter driving conditions, but heavier delays westbound, and that's from Kimball Junction down to East Canyon. Tito?
Slow speeds and snowy conditions possible on any valley freeways, particularly heavy traffic and delays northbound I-215 Southwest Belt, West Valley to 7th North, and westbound I-80 9th to 23rd East. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through March 22nd, switch to Comcast Business and get started with 150 megabit internet plus Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Or ask how to lock in your rate for 5 years on a qualifying internet bundle and get a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. For a limited time only. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply.
Kitchen and bath transformations start with AMC Building Materials. AMC Building Materials is a large kitchen cabinet and countertop supplier serving both wholesale and retail customers. AMC offers factory direct pricing on all interior remodeling materials, giving you exceptional value without sacrificing quality. Most standard items are available for quick payment and pickup right away. AMC Building Materials provides professional service, free design, and free on-site measurements, along with expert installation by top AMC professionals. From bold kitchen designs to beautiful functional bathrooms, AMC delivers outstanding value with styles you'll love. And best of all, most projects can be completed within just 10 days. Come experience beauty you can see, quality you can feel, and service you can trust. Get directions to the new AMC Building Materials showroom at 3678 South 700 West today and schedule your free estimate. Visit amckitchenslc.org. That's amckitchenslc.org.
Hi, I'm Utah tax attorney Jordan Wilcox. When the IRS invades your life, it's never good news. Keep in mind, it's not just you.
I owed roughly $34,000.
$61,000. When the IRS first contacted me, I was horrified.
When they start hounding you and harassing you and assaulting you.
Don't face the IRS alone. With everything in your life at stake, don't trust just anyone.
From what I got told was being done in a matter of 2 years, he had done in a matter of like 48 hours.
It's a great thing to have the IRS off your back.
We have reduced our tax liability by over $42,000.
Once I signed on with Jordan, I never talked to the IRS again.
It changed our lives.
You need someone to fight for you. Visit endtaxworry.com and get relief today. Let's solve your tax problems now. Visit endtaxworry.com. That's endtaxworry.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
You are listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. With all this snow falling, how is the avalanche risk looking around the Wasatch Front and back? Wasatch Storm Watch, we are continuing our special coverage of this snowstorm, the first real snowstorm of the season. Let's check in on the avalanche dangers with Brooke Mauschand, an avalanche forecaster with Utah Avalanche Center. Brooke, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
We have been watching this story out of Northern California with those missing backcountry skiers showing just how dangerous the avalanches can be. So we are concerned about how things are looking here in Utah. How are we looking right now?
Right. So similar to California, we issued our avalanche warning this morning. Now, an avalanche warning is the most severe alert product that we have at the Avalanche Center that is used to inform the public when avalanche conditions are especially dangerous. So we issued that this morning, and we have a high avalanche danger throughout the day today.
We know that people who like to get out into the backcountry get pretty excited by this kind of weather and the snow, but which areas right now have the highest avalanche risk?
Right. So if we're talking about our Salt Lake forecast zone, we are looking at high avalanche danger on upper elevation slopes and mid-elevation slopes that face northwest through north through east, and generally just all around the compass. As you go up in elevation, you'll be able to find more snow, more wind that's moving that snow around to create more of a slab and more avalanches.
Yeah, so was there much of a base before this new snow landed on it?
Right, so our last significant snowstorm was over a month ago on January 9th. And since then, all that snow sat out and has been weakening with the clear weather that we had. It's what we call faceting. That super faceted, weak, sugary snow is making the foundation for this denser new snow that's falling right now. It's like building your house on a foundation of sand. So it's a rotten base, and we're putting a lot of snow on it really quickly. So that's why we have the high avalanche hazard.
Okay, not a good time to go out, but for those folks who want to head out into the backcountry this weekend when it does dry up a bit, what should they keep in mind?
Right. I would say to keep in mind that it's often not on these huge storm days that big incidents happens. It's usually on the first 1 to 2 or 3 clear days after a loading event like this, because everyone's excited about the snow. As the danger drops from high going towards considerable, that avalanche accidents actually happen. So just keeping that in mind heading into the weekend, knowing that while the avalanche danger may drop, the warning may go away, there's still going to be a heightened risk, and folks should still be conservative in their travel choices.
Brooke, with the small amount of snow we've received this year, have we had any avalanches that have caused injuries or deaths? I don't remember any.
We haven't had any avalanche fatalities to my knowledge here in Utah, but there's been more than a handful of catch and carries.
Okay. So, and yeah, we saw what happened in California this morning, what a tragedy. All right, Brooke, thank you so much for being with me.
Yep. Have a good evening.
You too. That is Brooke Mauschand, avalanche forecaster with the Utah Avalanche Center. And we have been hearing from folks all around the Wasatch Front talking about the different conditions. Folks who have headed up the canyon saying Little and Big Cottonwood Canyons are closed. We've had folks sending us in pictures from Provo showing very heavy snow. Here in downtown Salt Lake City, we have a lot of snow. And the first snowplow of the day went by just a few minutes ago, so it's been pretty slushy here downtown as well. And you can text us what you are seeing in the areas that you are at. We are also hearing that there is a semi that jackknifed at mile marker 228 southbound on I-15, and Ricky's going to tell us all the latest on those conditions. It's 1:30 midday at KSL News Radio. I'm Maria Shilaos. Some of the stories we are watching this hour. A snowstorm continues to pummel the area this hour, grounding all flights at Salt Lake City International Airport. Artificial intelligence, should states or the feds get to decide policy? And KSL traffic, Ricky.
A crazy drive on the freeways, main secondary side streets, and canyons. Maria?
And yes, we are going to have lingering snow showers throughout the day, but hopefully the brunt of this storm is going to be done by the drive time. It's 1:30.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A billionaire businessman with ties to Jeffrey Epstein is being deposed today as part of the House Oversight's investigation.
Les Wexner founded the popular clothing store The Limited in the 1960s. He was the main client of Jeffrey Epstein's financial management business starting in the 1980s. Documents show the FBI initially eyed Wexner as a possible Epstein co-conspirator, but prosecutors later said there was limited evidence regarding his involvement in the abuse of women and girls. The 88-year-old has denied any involvement in those crimes and says Epstein stole hundreds of millions of dollars from him.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. More than 2 weeks after Nancy Guthrie vanished from her Tucson home, law enforcement sources tell ABC News the FBI reached out to Mexican authorities about her disappearance, but say there is no evidence she was taken across the border. In Northern California, 8 backcountry skiers found dead following an avalanche yesterday in the rugged terrain near Donner's Pass. The search for one more skier continues. This is ABC News.
KSL's top local story this hour. Provo man is accused of threatening to shoot someone while pretending to be an officer after a case of road rage. KSL News Radio's Randall Jepson has more.
This started near 500 West and Cougar Boulevard in Provo when a man says he was changing lanes and it really ticked off another driver. That other guy, he started honking and following him and ended up following him all the way home. The first driver says his wife and his kids were in the car, and that second guy got out, started talking into a radio like he was an officer, and then said ICE was on the way. He then added if he had a gun, he'd shoot him right then.
Police say the encounter was recorded on cell phone video, and the suspect, Mark Mathis, told police he pretended to be an agent so the other driver would fear like he did when he almost crashed while driving. Other local stories KSL is following. Highland High is warning its students of a potential measles exposure after an unvaccinated student attended school while contagious for over a week. Nicholas Rupp with the Salt Lake County Health Department says the start of measles looks similar to a cold or flu.
So if you're not feeling well, especially if you may have been exposed to measles through some other situation in the state, since we do have measles circulating throughout Utah, It's really important to stay home so you don't potentially infect others.
Notifications have been sent to the whole school, letting them know about the sick student. Taking a look at your money at this moment, it's a good day for the markets. The Dow is up by 84 points, sitting at 49,617. S&P up by 30. The NASDAQ up by 153 points. Traffic and weather. Traffic not looking so good. It's brought to you by UCCU. Up to $500 for loan transfers. Love where you bank. The latest with Ricky Meese.
Just getting word from UDOT that a crash eastbound I-80 prior to 2300 East now has that road completely closed. We've seen the backups that are growing. These winter driving conditions are not easy for anyone, but again, eastbound I-80 now closed due to the accident just before 2300 East. Parley's Canyon, we're seeing some improvement, especially along westbound I-80 in the lower portion of the canyon, but both directions are still dealing with heavy snowfall at times and slick conditions with road snow accumulation. It's the upper portion of the canyon. Westbound delays are heavier from Kimball Junction to the summit, and again, closures in place for Big and Little Cottonwood. Tito?
Slow speeds and snowy conditions remain on all of our valley freeways. We have heavy traffic and delays on northbound I-215 south, the West Belt between West Valley up to 7th North, and westbound I-80 from 9th East to 23rd East. Eastbound I-80 slow in spots from 2700 south up towards the interchange. Up north, Weber County seeing slowdowns between Marriott Slatersville and Hill Air Force Base, and Utah County north and south between Lehigh and Santa Quin. When you need the financial products and services for every stage of life, Cypress Credit Union is there for whatever the future holds. Visit cypresscu.com today. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
And these snow showers are expected to taper off by the drive time, but still some lingering showers even into this evening. We're looking at a low tonight down into the low 20s. Right now, 29 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
A reminder about the simplest way to get updated for your day.
Hit your KSL preset when you jump in the car, and we'll take care of the rest.
Hear key news updates and traffic reports.
Andy and Amanda from 5 to 9 in your car.
KSL News Radio at 102.7 FM.
What's better than a credit card with low interest? How about one with no interest? For a limited time, when you open a new America First Visa credit card, you'll enjoy 0% APR for the first 6 months. Transfer your balances from higher rate cards to your new America First card to consolidate debt and potentially save yourself a lot of money. That's zero interest for 6 months. Interested? Then hurry to americafirst.com to apply today. Introductory variable annual percentage rate is subject to membership, eligibility, terms, creditworthiness, change, and conditions. Other limits and requirements may apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal opportunity lender.
If you've been disappointed by underachieving savings, a high-yield certificate from America First can be a fantastic way to help your money start doing more. Whether you're planning for an upcoming expense or just want to save smarter and earn bigger, America First's flexible certificates are an outstanding way to grow your cash. So don't wait to get your money working. Head to americafirst.com and open a high-yield certificate today. Membership eligibility, terms, conditions, and change apply. Fees could reduce account earnings. Federally insured by NCUA.
I was ordering food for the office from the same few places for too long.
For workplaces suffering with office food fatigue, every day's a struggle.
Before starting Easy Cater, I assumed having no good vegan options for Carl in finance was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat OFF with a huge variety of favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Used daily, one platform lets you save time and shine. Ask your app store about Easy Cater or start an order at easycater.com.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
You're listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos.
Eye on the Hill 2026. Special coverage on KSL News Radio.
A bit of a rift forming right now between the Trump administration and the Utah legislature over a bill affecting artificial intelligence. Representative Doug Fiafia proposes new regulations for AI companies to protect consumers from companion chatbots. He recently spoke about the bill in a committee hearing.
No content mandates, no government pre-approval, no micromanaging algorithms. It doesn't touch development. which means it doesn't stifle innovation.
Deseret News reporter Brigham Tomko has been following this bill and the reaction from the White House, and he joins me now live. And Brigham, I understand that there are some Utahns involved in the lawsuit against OpenAI over what they call harmful practices. Let's start there. What really got my attention in your story this morning at Deseret.com was one of the people that you spoke to talking about how AI has really impacted him.
Yeah, so I start this coverage speaking with Jacob Irwin, who's a 30-year-old, actually from Wisconsin. I should have put that higher up there in the story, but he had an experience just last year where an update to OpenAI's chatbot called ChatGPT, most people are aware of it, led to him eventually falling into an AI-induced psychosis or mania. And this was just a process over the course of a few weeks where the more he interacted with this digital companion, the more it kind of tapped into his insecurities or his delusions and convinced him that he was some world-changing genius, to the point where he was kind of disconnected with reality and was taken to the ER. And he stayed in the hospital for about 60 days. And he's part of this lawsuit along with 6 other initial plaintiffs. And several of them say that their teenage children were actually led to suicide through a similar process where communicating with these AI chatbots that often feel like you're talking with a real human led them or persuaded them to do something like taking their life.
Okay, so talk to us more about Representative Fiafia's bills. Tell us more about them first.
So there's 2 bills this session that aim to build on the state's kind of landmark legislation over the last few years that tried to balance business-friendly AI policy with regulations that protect consumers. Now, the first one, HB 286, is the one that has drawn this backlash and attacks from the Trump White House. And what this bill would seek to do is try and prevent a situation like the one Jacob Irwin experienced last year, where a AI company working on what's called a frontier model, or one of these brand new cutting-edge AI softwares, to post on their website their security and their risk assessments and their child protection plans whenever they have a new product. This would increase transparency, Representative Fiafia says, around these groundbreaking technologies that are evolving at an ever quicker pace. And so that bill would require those disclosures, and also for these AI companies to report to the state's AI office if there are any risks or kind of crisis scenarios. And so that's what that bill would do. And the second bill, HB 438, is more narrowly tailored to that consumer protection approach the state has taken in the past, where it would prevent these kinds of chatbots from engaging in inappropriate behaviors with minors. So they'd have to verify that age, and then they would be held liable if they encourage that minor to engage in self-harm or encourage them to do something illegal, or they would also be required to remind this minor every hour that, hey, maybe you should take a break.
Oh, okay. So we heard the representative say just a few minutes ago that his bills would not stifle innovation. So tell us why the Trump administration is taking issue with at least the first bill.
So back in December, the Trump administration took their most concrete step yet to preventing AI regulations across the country. They had tried to do it a few months earlier with a big, beautiful bill to place a so-called moratorium on state-level AI regulations. But in December, an executive order was signed that basically tasked a group within the Department of Justice to challenge state laws that were deemed overly cumbersome. And this is the first instance where we're seeing the Trump administration directly conflict with state lawmakers over a proposed AI bill. And so they sent to state legislative leaders last Thursday a one-sentence letter that said, "We are categorically opposed to Utah HB 286 and view it as an unfixable bill that goes against the administration's AI agenda." And we can assume that's because they view it as a regulation that could make it difficult for AI companies to comply with nationwide.
The state has really taken action on social media in general. Is there a balance? I mean, the state wants to be in control and protect citizens, but the feds don't want them to do certain things. Is there some sort of balance between the two here?
So Senate Majority Leader Kurt Colomore was the sponsor of the state's prior AI policies over the last few years, and he said that there is a clear distinction where he thinks that the state can continue to react to and protect consumers against this technology without running afoul of the Trump administration, and that distinction is only regulating or applying fines or liability to the interface between consumers and the product. So, for example, if AI is used in a certain way by mental health businesses without disclosing that it's AI, then it could be fined by the Department of Commerce here in the state. But where the Trump administration is getting concerned, according to Senator Colomore, is when you have a policy like HB 286 that requires these brand new models while they're being developed to post these kind of internal risk assessments online that may, kind of reflect the inner workings of this technology in a way that could, hamper or influence how these tech companies are working.
Have you had a chance to talk to Representative Fiafia since the administration launched this kind of critique?
So I spoke with him yesterday. He said that I was the first person he had talked with, even though he's been contacted by CNN, Fox News, everyone wanting to hear the state lawmakers' response. And what he told me was he viewed the Trump administration's fairly blunt memo as an attempt at dialogue. He said this is part of the process to arrive at healthy AI policy. He did not want to frame this as a conflict between Utah and the Trump administration, but something interesting he said is that while the White House has been engaged in conversations about this bill from day one, they are just one stakeholder out of many that Utah lawmakers are taking into account. And I think what he may have meant by that, and something that he mentioned elsewhere, is this is a popular policy among Utah voters. And so that's something he's also taking into account, not just the views of the Trump administration.
All right, Brigham, thank you so much. And that is Deseret News reporter Brigham Tomko joining us. Midday continues in just 60 seconds.
Amanda, I've been taught to begin with the end in mind. And when it comes to something like weight loss, that's really, really important because some weight loss plans have no end. It's like another refill or another bill or another year. But soda weight loss has a finish line.
You learn it once, you use it forever. And I'm all about health. I mean, I don't want to have my body become addicted to another drug that I have to take forever in order to be healthy. I want the opposite of that. I want fewer medications. I want my body to learn how to do this on its own and be strong.
For so many weight loss drugs, you have to just take them forever in order to maintain that feeling when you cross the finish line. Yeah. When I hit 70 pounds that I let go of in 5 months, what an amazing feeling. And it was amazing to know I could just go forward from this point.
You can talk to a nutritionist and ask all your questions at 866-800-SODA.
Or you can go to sotaweightloss.com. That's SOTA weightloss.com. Because at SOTA, join us for a short time to have results that last a lifetime.
Iran touting the progress made with the U.S. in nuclear talks on Tuesday in Geneva. Iran's foreign minister told state media that there's still work that needs to be done, but says the two sides came to an understanding on the guiding principles for negotiations. While both the U.S. and Iran are speaking of progress in talks, both also seem to be preparing for the possibility of war. The Pentagon sending a second carrier strike group to the region at the same time that Iranian and U.S. negotiators met yesterday. Iran also closing the Strait of Hormuz, a vital shipping lane. They are now using it for live fire exercises, and joint military exercises are planned tomorrow with Russia. We get the latest on the situation from News Nation.
A U.S. official says progress was made, but there are still a lot of details to be discussed, and Iran's foreign minister says that there is now a path toward an agreement.
Envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner led the U.S. in talks with Iran in Geneva Tuesday. President Trump also signaled he'd be indirectly involved in efforts to limit Iran's nuclear program.
I don't think they want the consequences of not making a deal. They want to make a deal.
The U.S. wants Iran to curb its nuclear program and stop enriching uranium, and Iran wants the U.S. to lift sanctions. Iran's foreign minister expressed optimism after the meeting, saying a window has opened for an agreement. He said both sides will start working on possible text for a nuclear deal soon, and a third round of talks will be needed. But Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, struck a more combative tone on social media. In one post writing, quote, The Americans constantly say that they've sent a warship toward Iran. Of course, a warship is a dangerous piece of military hardware. However, more dangerous than that warship is the weapon that can send that warship to the bottom of the sea. The post comes amid a U.S. military buildup in the region, including sending the world's largest aircraft carrier. Meanwhile, in a show of force from Iran, the country announced it's temporarily closing the Strait of Hormuz, a critical oil shipping route where the country started conducting military drills.
U.S. officials say the Iranians will now work on a detailed proposal for a deal that's expected in about 2 weeks. In Washington, I'm Maddie Beertemple.
Top Trump allies, like Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, continue to say they want the U.S. to push for a regime change in Iran. Seismologists at the U now saying last week's 3.5 quake in West Valley City was an aftershock of the bigger earthquake in Magna from 6 years ago. How does that work? Details coming up next. But first, it's traffic on KSL News Radio. It's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.44% on savings at uccu.com. Here's Ricky Meese.
We do have a freeway closure due to a crash involving multiple vehicles eastbound I-80 just before 2300 East. Traffic will likely be detoured at 1300 East, 7th East, but if you can avoid just getting on eastbound I-80, do so. Right now with this closure in place, the traffic is backed up to State. We also have another road closure, Redwood Road, 2300 North, due to a downed power line. And anywhere there's snow, expect slow speeds and delays on your valley freeways. That's anywhere from Provo all the way to Brigham City. Tito?
I-80 in Parley's Canyon still experiencing treacherous driving conditions between Park City and Foothill. In Utah County, Provo Canyon dealing with wet and slick roads, but traffic actually moving along very well. Closures still in place in Big in Little Cottonwood Canyon, and Sardine Canyon in Box Elder still dealing with a snowpack drive. The Good Feet store, supporting you with comfort no matter what the day brings. Find the location nearest you at goodfeet.com. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
This is Jeff Stout with Fink and McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple. Let's talk conventional versus FHA loans. Both offer cash-out refinances up to 80% loan-to-value or LTV, so which is best for you? It's kind of like Uber and Lyft. I always compare the two before booking a ride. Conventional loans don't have mortgage insurance under 80% LTV. However, the rates and costs get higher with lower credit scores, cash-out, and high LTVs. FHA loans always have mortgage insurance, but the rates are lower, they don't penalize you for cash out and high LTV loans, and they allow for higher debt-to-income ratios. FHA often results in lower payment even with mortgage insurance. We can analyze your situation within minutes. Call us today. Fink and McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple, 801-264-9494. That's 264-9494. Or on the web at finkmcgregor.com. NMLS 289115.
Sign up for KSL Text Alerts. Get breaking news and traffic updates by texting the word news to 57500. Want access to exclusive contests? Text contest to 57500. Jazz fans, text the word jazz for breaking jazz updates. And Cougar fans, text BYU to 57500 for the latest on the Cougars. Message and data rates may apply.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-230-2777.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep discounts. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
This is Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Folks around Salt Lake County feeling a little shaken after a 3.5 magnitude earthquake struck Friday night. Now we are learning that the quake was most likely an aftershock of the 2020 Magna earthquake, the 5.7 quake from nearly 6 years ago. So how on earth does something like this happen? I'm joined now by Emily Morton. She's a research scientist with the University of Utah Seismograph Station. Emily, thanks for being with me.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So I have to ask, how do you know it's an aftershock? I mean, what's the difference between an aftershock and a regular quake?
Yeah, it can be a little tricky to tell. Even in this case, we can't be 100% completely sure. What we're looking at is the fact that this earthquake overlapped with the Magna aftershock region where all those previous aftershocks were, and the fact that activity in that area is still higher relative to the earthquakes we were seeing before the Magna earthquake. So that indicates that aftershocks are still continuing, and the fact that it overlaps with the same area points to it being related to the same sequence.
Okay, so how unusual is it for us to see an aftershock 6 years after a quake?
That's not unusual. Aftershocks can continue for many years. It's a little bit unusual to see one this large. Typically, we see that they get smaller and smaller with time, but not completely out of the question. So, yeah, aftershock sequences can go on for many months, years, depending on the earthquake that causes them.
Okay, so since it feels like, I'm sure this is probably a perspective of mine, but it feels like we have had more quakes that we've felt around northern Utah than normal. Is that normal?
Yeah, I think these three that have gone off recently that have been felt widely are all on completely different portions of faults. So the one south of Evanston was on a completely different fault system. These two, the one near Saratoga Springs and this one that's possibly an aftershock, both likely part of the Wasatch Fault system, but different parts of that system. So we're not really seeing any changes in the amount of earthquakes we normally see. We typically locate 1,500 to 2,000 in Utah each year. It just so happens that these three happen to be big enough to be felt. So it's a fun or scary coincidence, I guess.
And always the question people ask, does that mean that the big one is going to come anytime soon?
You know, we don't know. So there's always a chance that these could lead to a bigger earthquake. We don't know until that happens. Right now, those smaller ones had a few aftershocks of their own, but those have mostly died off. So seems like activity is quieter, but there is always a small chance that there could be a larger earthquake.
Yeah, we always talk about these 3.5 earthquakes not usually causing any damage. How large does an aftershock or an earthquake have to be to actually cause damage?
Typically around, magnitude 5 or 6. And that's why we say that Utah has a dual threat, because we do know about the big one that's coming, but those earthquakes like Magna, smaller, more frequent, and they can still cause damage because of our older structures.
Right. Emily, I appreciate your help. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Emily Morton is a research scientist with the University of Utah Seismograph Station. Researchers are getting a unique look at how grizzly bears in the remote wilderness areas of Alaska prepare for hibernation. Washington State University researcher Ellery Vincent tells the Associated Press they have outfitted 12 grizzlies with video collars to get insight into their habits on that state's North Slope.
Actually, what we've been finding is kind of what we expected, that they're eating a lot of overwintered carcasses during that period of time, so caribou or muskox that have died. And then as soon as the caribou calves become available, once the caribou start calving, they're actually predating on some of those guys. And then pretty much as soon as green up happens, it seems like most of them are starting to shift towards vegetation and berries, which was this year around like late June. So in this particular environment, it's really limited in energy. These bears can hibernate for up to 8 months of the year, so they really have a really short window to obtain enough food resources to pack on enough fat to survive that period. They were captured 3 times throughout the year, so in May, August, and September. And we did this so we could look at these key windows, so like the spring to summer and then fall, or summer to fall. And it also allows us to maximize the amount of video because each collar has 17 hours of video that you can kind of disperse how you want. And then we plan to continue this study for another 2 years, so we'll get 24 more bears.
Ellery Vincent is a researcher at Washington State University. In the next hour of Midday, we'll follow up on a story we told you about yesterday involving DUIs in the state. I hope you'll stay with us.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
A winter storm continues to move around northern Utah this hour, bringing heavy snow, low visibility, slushy roads, and an overall headache for people. At the airport, flights grounded last hour.
It gives our snow crews a chance to get out there on the runway, clear it, and then open it back up so that operations can resume as normal.
In just the last few minutes, operations did get back to normal. The storm, though, is still packing a punch, but KSL meteorologists say it should start to ease up soon.
It does look like things will wind down or at least begin to break apart, become more light and showery by 4 o'clock.
The time is 2 o'clock on Wednesday, February 18th. It's midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Coming up.
It's the first day of like a heavy snowstorm we've had this year. Just right as we thought it wasn't going to come, and here it came.
Wasatch Storm Watch. We have special coverage on midday. Also this hour, Eye on the Hill 2026 will take a look at a proposal to further limit what foods people can buy using SNAP benefits. But first, our top stories. Utah lawmakers have voted against a bill that would have allowed doctors and insurance companies not to provide certain care based on their religious beliefs or their conscience. Supporters made it clear this would not allow doctors to opt out of care in an emergency setting and that they would have to disclose their beliefs ahead of time. State Senator Jen Plum, who's worked in medicine for more than 20 years, voted against the bill.
I think that this is not needed, and I think we're crossing into some very dangerous space here.
Some public commenters expressed concern this proposal could create barriers to care. The bill failed to advance out of a committee on a tie vote. Our top national story this hour from ABC News. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg is testifying in trial today. His company Meta is being sued under claims that the platform is designed to be addictive and affect young people's mental health. ABC's Melissa Adon has more.
The attorney representing the plaintiffs called Meta and Google, quote, two of the richest corporations in history that have, quote, engineered addiction in children's brains. Of course, Meta has told ABC they disagree with that. They feel that these allegations and what people are saying about them, that their confidence, the evidence is actually going to show that they have longstanding commitment to supporting young people, adding that they have made meaningful changes, for instance, like introducing teen accounts.
This is a landmark trial hanging on whether or not Meta deliberately targeted kids. Taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow ending the day up 129 points, more than 0.25%, sitting at 49,663. S&P up by 38 points. The NASDAQ up by 175. Traffic and weather, it's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.44% on savings at uccu.com. Ricky, the snow it was kind of tapering off downtown, but now it's heavy again.
It was, and here comes round two. And worse than that, we've had two closures now on I-81 in the valley and again in Parley's Canyon. On the eastbound side of I-80 prior to 2300 East, a multiple vehicle crash just really snarled traffic. They're starting to get it moved out of the way and get some traffic moving. It's still going to take a while, but now we're receiving word from UHP that westbound I-80 is now closed at Parley's Summit. They're hoping to get that open soon, but we have had multiple slide-offs and crashes, and we're expecting significant delays on I-80 in Parley's and in the valley throughout the afternoon due to this storm. Tito?
Both Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons are still closed. The opening time remains unknown. Utah County, Provo Canyon dealing with slick conditions, but traffic does appear to be moving along at good speeds. Wet roads on I-15 as well between Lehigh and Santaquin, although speeds look to be picking up a bit and conditions look to be slowing down a bit. And Sardine Canyon and Box Elder still dealing with a snow-packed drive. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
And Devin Mashuli telling us just a short time ago that these showers should taper off by the 4 o'clock hour, but still some lingering showers overnight, just not quite as healthy healthy and heavy as the ones that we are seeing right now. An overnight low in the 20s. We are at 28 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
The sources where we get our news matters.
When you listen to Utah's Morning News, we want you to feel the stories are important to you and trustworthy. This is Amanda Dixon.
And I'm Andy Farnsworth. Join us weekday mornings on KSL News Radio.
Getting help with electrical repairs is easier than you think. All you have to do is call Any Hour Services or schedule an appointment at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy plates, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100.
Are you looking to upgrade your home this year? Advanced Window Products is your local window and door manufacturer that sells direct to the public.
That's right, celebrating 40 years serving Utah since 1986. And right now, it's the New Year, New Window Sale. Get $2,500 off when you buy 10 windows or more.
Our windows are made right here in Salt Lake City. Sales and installation are all in-house, meaning no middleman markups. You get the most affordable, high-quality custom windows in the state.
We build it, we install it, and we guarantee it for life.
Every window comes with a lifetime warranty, labor, glass, and parts included, serviced by our local team, and the warranty is transferable to the next homeowner.
Financing is available too. Save now, pay later, with payments as low as $150 a month.
Buy local and support the local economy. Don't wait. Buy 10 windows or more and get $2,500 off. Beat the rush and call today.
Call us at 801-850-9100. That's 801-850-9100. Or visit us at advancedwindows.com.
Thanks for tuning into Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. We are continuing to track the developing snowstorm around northern Utah. Winter driving conditions abound, canyons closed, and flight delays still ongoing at the airport. It's been a mess out there. Wasatch Storm Watch, we have special coverage today. We've been watching the snow finally move into the valley, and right now it really is coming down in Salt Lake, downtown Salt Lake. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera is live at the Maverick on 5th South right before you jump on the freeway. And Eric, what are you seeing?
Maria, it's been dumping over here for the past couple hours. It's that wet, slushy snow, but it's coming down enough right now that you could actually see it sticking on cars, sidewalks, and in patches on the roads. And honestly, the vibe here at this Maverick is, people are out and about, they're moving, but you can tell everyone's a little more cautious than earlier today.
All right. It wasn't too bad during my drive earlier in the commute, but when did this start really picking up?
Yeah, I had a late start too myself. From what I'm hearing from people I'm talking to out here, early this morning it was more of like a light snow, no big deal situation. But late morning into midday, that's when it flipped. And right now you can definitely feel it. Visibility is down as you're driving around, and the roads are turning into that slushy mess that looks harmless until you hit a slick spot.
Okay, you're at a gas station. That is the perfect spot to catch people. How have Utahns been reacting?
Yeah, this is a great place because, you've got everyone from commuters to parents to people who are actually trying to leave town too. Like Madison, I spoke with her. She's literally about to road trip it. And she said this snow came at the worst possible time.
Just right as we thought it wasn't going to come, and here it came. Right as we thought.
I literally thought it was never going to come, and look at us now. It literally looks like a winter wonderland. Where are you guys heading? Are you guys going to the mountains, or are you guys just trying to get to and from?
I'm headed to Vegas. And
You're headed to Vegas?
Yeah, now I'm delayed. I'm like, dang. Of course today I'm driving across.
If there's one thing you could tell drivers on the road, what do you want them to know today?
Just slow down a little bit,
Oh, and that mountain pass through Cedar City is brutal, and the timing of the storm is brutal. What are people telling you about road conditions right now?
Right. Yeah. So the biggest thing I'm hearing is, it's not a total disaster out there, but it is, a bit sneaky. It's that slushy, wet, and, kind of snow where you feel okay till your tires start sliding a little at a stoplight. That happened to me on the way here. And with temperatures dropping later today and into tomorrow morning, that's when we could really see more icy patches.
Okay, we're all pretty dramatic about storms like this, so I'm guessing that you're getting some strong opinions from Utah drivers.
Oh, you know me, Maria. I'm not afraid to ask. I did ask Jessica to rate Utah drivers in the snow, and she didn't hold back. What would you rate Utah drivers in the snow, 1 through 10?
Oh, they're terrible. They're probably the worst drivers. I swear it happens, and then they're all like, what is this? What do we do?
She's not wrong. So what's your advice to people listening right now, especially with the evening commute coming up?
Absolutely. The big thing is, Maria, give yourself extra time, right? If you can avoid rushing, do it. And if you're heading up toward, especially the benches or into the mountains, that's where, the snow totals are stacking up even more quickly. And even downtown right now, it's manageable, but it is getting messy fast.
It's funny. We all think that we're good drivers. It's the other guy. Those other Utah drivers.
That's right, Maria. That's right.
Thank you, Eric. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera tracking the storm as it moves around northern Utah. He will continue tracking the storm. He will have updates coming up on Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News. The weather has caused quite a mess on the roads around northern Utah. Wasatch Storm Watch, our special coverage continues. Let's get another check-in of the roads. Ricky Meese is tracking it all in the KSL Traffic Center. And Ricky, I am seeing some spots on your cameras where there's not even very much visibility.
There's not. And that's been a big issue that we've been dealing with this storm. Through one patch, you can barely see in front of you, and then you drive out of it eventually, and it's all clear. It's a mix of clouds and a mix of snow, heavy at times, and blowing sideways. That's the snowstorm that kind of always makes me a little nervous because that indicates strong winds, and that's exactly what we've seen, Maria.
So where are the worst areas right now?
Well, right now it is I-80. At the summit, westbound, we've had a closure of westbound I-80 coming from Park City into the valley, and they're going to try to get that open, but we've had so many crashes and slide-offs, too many to mention. And then in the valley, we had an accident eastbound I-80 just before 2300 East. That's mostly out of traffic now, and we're starting to see traffic move a little, but plan on big delays. The canyons have definitely been hardest hit. On one hand, that's good news. On the other hand, not so much. Big and Little Cottonwood have been closed. Sardine was closed for a while this morning, and we're still seeing snow-packed conditions on Highway 8991 in Box Elder. And so just keep in mind that now is the time to plan your drive home. Along with just preparing for winter driving conditions, allow yourself a lot of extra space between you and the vehicle in front of you.
You know, it's funny. I'm looking at the texters right now. One says the Salt Lake area must be getting something that we aren't. I'm not sure where that person is. We have one that says the commute from the University of Utah to Riverton took over an hour. The snow is terrible up by the university. And one that's talking about they wouldn't be surprised if they shut down southbound Scipio Road, I-15, because of possible multiple semis going off the highway.
Yeah, Maria, we've only been covering northern Utah traffic.
Oh,
we
my
haven't
gosh,
even hit
so many
southern
trouble
Utah.
spots.
And that's the difference with this storm. It's statewide. We've been told from the National Weather Service and our own meteorologists, it's going to come the entire state, and it's going to last for a long time. Now, here in northern Utah, I can tell you that we're seeing big improvements on I-15 in Utah County, but in Salt Lake County, the East Belt, I-80 in the Valley and in Parleys, and then I-15 from 2100 south into Centerville. The West Belt has been hard hit. And then up north, you're going to see Highway 89 and I-84 also still dealing with snowy conditions. But again, watch for those bridges, overpasses, and ramps. Any place where air can go underneath, they're going to freeze first, and that's the spot you want to slow down before you even approach those spots, because that those freezing temperatures and black ice, you'll be fishtailing before you know it, and you'll be out of control, and we don't want that for anyone.
Nope, we sure don't. Thank you, Ricky. We will continue to track the storm as it moves through northern Utah. Forecast says it should start to wind down soon, so we'll keep an eye on it and let you know with updates on air and online at KSLNewsRadio.com. More Midday in just a moment.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till Good RX wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I'd put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Eye on the Hill 2026. Special coverage on KSL News Radio.
SNAP benefits could see more limits this year. A new bill would prohibit SNAP users from using those benefits to buy ultra-processed foods. It would be a step further from legislation that passed last year, which barred Utahns from using SNAP benefits to buy soda pop. The sponsor of the bill is Representative Kristen Chevrier, and she joins me now on Midday. Thanks for being with me, Representative.
Hi there. Thank you for having me on.
So why do we need this bill?
So last year, we started with just taking the first step with soda. Soda at that point was the highest purchase on SNAP dollars. And because it is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, we felt that it should be focused more on nutrition than on sugar and food coloring.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first step last year. This year, we're taking it one step further. But I will say that the definition that is currently in the bill is in progress, It's not the final definition. We're working with partners on the federal level, and we're also working with stakeholders here in Utah to try to find a definition that will work. So what you're seeing there is not the final definition.
So you're talking about the definition of ultra-processed food.
That is correct.
So what was your intent by putting the processed food in this?
So we know that people who are on SNAP, children who grow up on SNAP, have a lot higher incidence of type 2 diabetes. So part of the motivation is to make Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program true to its mission, which is to build health in the people with the lower incomes who are in need of assistance from government dollars. The other part of it is that we have taxpayers who are funding this program, and so this is an attempt to be better stewards of tax dollars that come from young families, single parents, and elderly people who are just trying to make ends meet, and in a lot of cases who are losing homes and unable to afford basic necessities. So what we're trying to do is help everyone and make the program do what it's supposed to do while also being good stewards over tax dollars.
Representative, the cost of food right now is pretty hefty, and many of these ultra-processed foods, say mac and cheese, are much cheaper than other types of food and kind of fill the belly. So how would you respond to the other side of the argument that, you know, maybe these people who are on SNAP benefits won't be able to afford to feed their families?
Well, that's obviously a concern, and that will go into the definition that we finally come up with. All of that is part of our thought process. But I will also say that Utah has a Double Your Bucks program where your SNAP dollars go twice as far if you buy healthy foods. So I think that helps to balance it.
Okay. So you say you're still working on the definition. Do you hope to have that done this session?
I would hope to have it done this session, but there are no guarantees.
Okay. So, and if you don't, then you will just wait till next session?
Yes, that would be the plan.
All right. Anything that I haven't asked you that you'd like to add about this?
No, not really. We're just trying to balance taking good care of our tax dollars and taking good care of our citizens, and it's not really a simple task.
Yeah, Representative, I appreciate your time. Thanks for being with me.
Thank you.
After the break, we'll get some reaction to the proposal from advocates who work in this kind of space. But first, it's traffic on KSL News Radio. It's brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Here's Ricky Meese.
Major delays westbound I-80, and this is coming from Kimball Junction all the way to Parley's Summit. This is due to a lot of crashes and slide-offs. The plows were out in Parley's. They just could not keep up with the amount of snow coming from this storm. So anticipate significant delays either direction between the valley floor and Park City. And then the eastbound delays on I-80 with traffic starting to move from an earlier crash at 2300 East. Tito?
Big and Little Cottonwood Canyon remain closed at this hour. No word yet on when they may open back up. Down in Utah County, Provo Canyon dealing with slick and wet conditions, but speeds actually look to be moving along okay. We're seeing a snowpack as well with slower speeds on Highway 6 and Spanish Fort Canyon. The largest snowpack looks to be at Soldier Summit. Common Spirit, hospitals, clinics, and caregivers, all connected to advanced healthcare in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Healthcare with Human Kindness is here. Hello, Human Kindness. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
Kitchen and bath transformations start with AMC Building Materials. AMC Building Materials is a large kitchen cabinet and countertop supplier serving both wholesale and retail customers. AMC offers factory direct pricing on all interior remodeling materials, giving you exceptional value without sacrificing quality. Most standard items are available for quick payment and pickup right away. AMC Building Materials provides professional service, free design, and free on-site measurements, along with expert installation by top AMC professionals. From bold kitchen designs to beautiful functional bathrooms, AMC delivers outstanding value with styles you'll love. And best of all, most projects can be completed within just 10 days. Come experience beauty you can see. Quality you can feel and service you can trust. Get directions to the new AMC Building Materials showroom at 3678 South 700 West today and schedule your free estimate. Visit amckitchenslc.org. That's amckitchenslc.org.
What most people don't realize is this. If you got government Obamacare health insurance again, especially here in Utah, you're not just overpaying a premium, you're carrying most of the risk yourself. At My Policy Quote, yes, I can help reduce premiums. In fact, many families are seeing around 47% savings, even more on gold level plans. But the real issue shows up when life happens. A doctor visit, lab work, an ER trip. The moment you hand over that blue card or any big box insurance, that's when prices jump. And with families suffering with deductibles now reaching $20,000, you're paying all of the out-of-pocket long before the insurance starts to help. My name's Mike at My Policy Quote, and I work with private insurance based on your health, not your income, so you're not forced into a one-size-fits-all coverage. That means lower overall costs, access to national PPO networks, and plans designed around how families actually use care. If you pay your own health insurance, self-employed or small businesses, call me, Mike, today. 385-367-6779. Again, that's 385-367-6779. Or visit mypolicyquote.com. That's mypolicyquote.com to get started now.
Hi, this is Derek Overstreet, president of the New Millennium Group and co-host of Stop Working, Start Living with KSL News Radio. Can you imagine what your life would be like if you could retire 3 to 5 years earlier than you thought possible? The things you could do, the loved ones you could spend time with, the memories that you could create. That's what our team at the New Millennium Group does. We'll walk you through the entire process every step of the way. If you'd like to get a copy of the 5-step proprietary plan that will help you retire 3 to 5 years sooner than you thought possible, give us a shout right now. 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com. Listen, most of our listeners right now have a tax problem, not a money problem. There's not enough money in Social Security Medicare as it is. Let us show you how you can significantly reduce your taxes. That's 888-999-6370, 888-999-6370, or utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Don't miss the excitement of the crowd, the perfect ping of 300-yard drives, the sound of sinking a 15-foot putt, shifting the leaderboard. Challenge is an understatement. Beautiful, bold, athletic. LPGA's next-gen stars vying for glory on a course that's as stunning as it is challenging. The Copper Rock Championships Epson Tour, May 14th through 16th. Come for the game. Stay for the journey. Copper Rock, born to be played.
Tim Jr. here from RGS Exteriors. Did you know that we offer 3 distinct styles of gutter protection? Each one meant to handle a specific leaf problem. You might not even know there are different styles of gutter protection, but there are. And if you pick the wrong one, it could be a huge waste of money. Now, the big gutter guard companies won't tell you this. They try to sell you a one-size-fits-all gutter guard. And it could be completely wrong for the amount and types of trees and leaves you have. Not RGS Exteriors. We understand which kind of leaf problem needs which kind of gutter guard. We'll do an in-depth evaluation to assess the types, locations, and numbers of trees in your yard. Based on that data, we match your home to the right gutter guard. So don't risk wasting money on the wrong gutter protection. For a free evaluation and estimate, call RGS Exteriors at 801-280-3110 or visit rgsexteriors.com. That's 801-280-3110 or rgsexteriors.com.
You were listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Low-income advocates say a bill on Utah's Capitol Hill that would restrict using SNAP benefits to buy ultra-processed foods would just make it harder for low-income Utahns to feed their families. The executive director for Utahns Against Hunger, Gina Cornea, tells me that she has a number of concerns. The first being that it's not clear what foods will be banned if the measure becomes law.
We don't have a clear definition on what ultra-processed foods are. Does that mean a Dorito? Does it mean, a frozen pizza? What does that mean? And so, one, we've got some concerns about, honestly, the chaos that it will cause for the grocery stores and the folks who, will be tasked with figuring that out. Last year they banned soda and had candy in the ban originally, but they couldn't even come to a consensus on what the definition of candy was. So, for example, a Mounds bar is candy, a Twix bar is not, because it has flour in it. And so it gets very complicated, and how things are taxed and how things are categorized. And so on that side of things, it just causes chaos. On the other side, on the philosophical, sort of leaning into the Make America Healthy again, what we know is that people buy healthier food when they have more benefits. So it becomes a cost issue. If they can buy, something that will feed their family, that costs less, and they have limited funds, they're going to buy that. And, on this Friday, Utahns Against Hunger is launching the SNAP Challenge, where we're challenging Utahns and elected officials to live on $6 a day. And so how healthy can you eat on $6 a day? And I think, if you have time and you have resources and you can shop sales, then I think it's possible, but it's still a very modest benefit. And, we have concerns that it will just continue to limit what folks can buy, reducing the amount of food they can buy, and that it could increase food insecurity and hunger.
You mentioned time. So I think that we need to maybe understand better what a person on food stamps is doing.
Well, they're working. There is a work requirement for folks from, 18 to 60 if they're able-bodied, and, a lot of folks are. But the majority of folks who are on SNAP are kids younger than 18, seniors older than 60, and people with disabilities. The rest of that population, including some seniors and folks with disabilities, are working. And so, they're working low-wage jobs where they still qualify for public assistance. So, we all know how stretched our schedules get. And, you're held up at work with that last phone call, or you've got to get this one project done. And so those folks have, folks on food stamps or for on SNAP have the same time constraints we all have. And, when you get home at the end of the day, you need to, provide a meal for your family. And if you have limited funds, you have to figure that out. And we would rather see people buy the food that makes sense for their family, incentivize those purchases with more benefits so that they can have real choices in making decisions about healthy foods.
Yeah. And when we're talking about processed foods, I'm thinking about mac and cheese, things that my
Right.
parents served that would be
Yeah.
considered processed, maybe even ultra processed, but they were quick to make because they didn't have a lot of time or money at that point in their lives.
Right. And you have, you've got homework, you've got reading time, you've got all the things that, the family routine, and making feeding your family harder just isn't the way to solve the health care issues.
Gina Cornea is the executive director of Utahns Against Hunger. It's 2:30 midday at KSL News Radio. I'm Maria Shilaos. Some of the stories we are watching this hour. A KSL investigation giving some insights into DUI data around the state and whether the state's lowered blood alcohol level has made roads safer. And KSL traffic, Ricky.
This snowstorm still hampering the drive on I-80 in the valley and in Parleys. Maria?
And we'll also check the winter games on KSL with our check-in with KSL TV's Denny Willer.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In Northern California, search and rescue crews located the bodies of 8 backcountry skiers following the deadliest ski-related avalanche in U.S. history. 6 other members of that group survived. The avalanche risk in the rugged backcountry near Donner Pass remains. ABC's Trevor Ault is in Nevada City.
9 people had been missing from the beginning. There's still one that they have not been able to locate, but because of the ongoing threat here, this is something that could still take days before they're able to get the deceased off of the mountainside. The sheriff spoke extensively about the difficulties and also how they want to protect their search and rescue teams.
Tensions between the U.S. and Iran remain despite diplomatic talks this week on a possible nuclear deal. Oil prices shooting up today in trading. At the Milan Cortina Olympics, U.S. skier Michaela Schifrin won gold in the women's slalom today. It ends her 8-year Olympic medal drought. Competition for curling, speed skating, and hockey also taking place today. This is ABC News.
KSL's top local story. A Provo man is being charged with impersonating an officer and threatening to use violence after he told the real police he was mad at a guy who cut him off in traffic.
A man living in Provo called police saying another driver got really mad at him for changing lanes near his car. That other driver started honking, following him, and the man told officers he had his wife and kids in the car with him. And he drove around until he thought that other guy had stopped following. But after he made it home, the other driver pulled up. He's now identified as Mark Mathis, and he got out and started talking into a radio as if he was an officer. Court documents say Mathis then told the driver ICE was on the way, and if he had a gun, he'd shoot him right there. The encounter was recorded on a cell phone video, which helped police track down Mathis. Randall Jepson, KSL News Radio.
Other local stories KSL is following. Highland High School is warning families to watch for potential signs of measles after a student attended school for over a week while contagious. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis reports.
The school says the student went to school on Friday, February 6th, then went back on Monday and stayed for the rest of the week. Salt Lake County Health Department says this student was not vaccinated, and any other unvaccinated student has a 90% chance of catching the disease if they had contact with the infected student. The health department says the virus can actually linger in rooms where the contagious person was for up to 2 hours.
The whole school has been notified with specific emails sent to parents whose children very likely had contact with the infected student. Taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow closing up by 129 points to sit at 49,662. S&P up by 38, and the NASDAQ up by 175 points. Traffic and weather, it's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.44% on savings at uccu.com. Ricky Me, still emergency traffic.
Still emergency traffic. It's for I-80 in the Valley and in Parleys, where we have significant delays both directions, anywhere between about 7th East over to the Highway 40 junction about Silver Summit. The worst part is the westbound side in Summit County, where we've had a closure due to multiple slide-offs and crashes near the summit. We're still seeing leftover delays eastbound I-80 approaching 2300 East. Tito?
Big and Little Cottonwood Canyon still remain closed halfway through the 2 o'clock hour. No word on when they may open their roads back up. Snowfall still appears to be causing delays in Weber and Davis counties, especially on Legacy Highway 89 and I-84, and still a snowy drive in Sardine Canyon between Manaway and Wellsville, but things do look to be improving. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
Heavy snow showers tapering off by around 4 o'clock this afternoon, but still some lingering showers across the Wasatch Front this evening. The low tonight down into the 20s. It looks like tomorrow still a 30% chance of showers and a 50% chance on Friday. 29 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
Mornings are for recharging.
And they're for starting your day right.
We volunteer to join you in the car. Get news and weather at 102.7 FM during the most important part of your day.
Andy and Amanda, each morning between 5 and 9 on KSL News Radio.
Hey, Utah! Are you ready for the Utah Mammoth to hit the ice? From game-winning goals to behind-the-scenes moments, Mammoth Plus brings the action to you all season long. Whether you're at home, on the go, or in the stands, don't miss a single shift. Visit UtahMammothPlus.com and start streaming today. That's UtahMammothPlus.com. Every game, every goal, live on Mammoth Plus.
A warning on cryptocurrency kiosk scams from AARP Utah. Scammers are getting smarter, and Utahns are paying the price. Criminals are using cryptocurrency ATMs to commit fraud, stealing people's retirement savings and costing Utahns millions of dollars a year. Many scams start with an unexpected call, text, or email from someone claiming to be a trusted source, like your bank, a business you use, or even law enforcement. They'll tell you there's an urgent problem and instruct you to take cash to a crypto kiosk or ATM. They may even stay on the phone pressuring you to act fast and keep it secret. But once you feed cash into a crypto ATM, it's converted to cryptocurrency and sent to the scammer's wallet. And and it can be almost impossible to recover. Remember, no legitimate organization will ever ask you to pay with cryptocurrency. Learn more at the rising cost of cryptocurrency scams by visiting aarp.org/UT. A message paid for by AARP Utah.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Take the first step. Visit CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
You're listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Every year, drinking and driving causes immeasurable grief in our communities. Utah stands out with the lowest blood alcohol limit in the country, which was implemented in 2018. KSL investigator Daniela Rivera analyzed a dozen years of data to find out if Utah's DUI law is saving lives.
It's a Friday night, and the Utah Highway Patrol's DUI squad is out in full force.
Yeah, you got your license with you?
Stopping speeders, wrong-way drivers, and anyone they see who might be impaired.
He admitted that he had had a drink. Not just a single shot, it was like a double shot?
They're out there looking to try to get those drivers off the road before some type of tragedy or a crash occurs.
As of December 30th, 2018, drivers in Utah have been subject to the strictest blood alcohol limit in the country, 0.05.
We wanted to know if that change in statute made a difference in Utah's streets.
So the KSL investigators crunched the numbers, analyzing 6 years of data prior to the change and the 6 years after.
We were very positive in 2019 when we saw all of our numbers kind of start to dip.
The numbers show a sharp decline in DUI fatalities immediately after the new limit went into effect. But then came the COVID-19 pandemic.
We saw a lot of changes.
Jason Metman with the Utah Highway Safety Office says that spiked numbers across the board.
States all across the nation saw an increase in poor traffic safety behavior, exactly correlated with when the pandemic started shutting things down.
And it wasn't just impaired driving.
We were seeing speeds, aggressive driving, distracted driving, all of those behaviors go up.
Total alcohol-related crashes have steadily come down since the pandemic peak in 2021. But progress with fatalities has been slow. In fact, the deadliest year in the 12-year period we looked at came after the law changed, with 67 deaths in 2022.
When we look at this change in the law, do you believe it has made a difference?
Yes, we do. We see encouraging numbers now in the last couple of years since we've settled from the pandemic.
But Metman says the law is one factor in a problem we can't curb solely with enforcement.
Impaired driving is 100% preventable every single time. DUI is a choice.
Troopers are calling on Utahns to choose a sober ride.
We don't want you to stop drinking or enjoying our bar and restaurant scene, but if you drink, please don't drive.
As of 2024, the average blood alcohol content for someone arrested for DUI in Utah is 0.15. That's 3 times the legal limit and almost double the previous limit.
That is KSL investigator Daniela Rivera there. You can get more on her story by going to ksltv.com.
The 2026 Winter Games on Middays with Maria, live from Milan. Brought to you by America First Credit Union.
The United States still trailing in third place for total number of medals at the Winter Games in Italy. Norway is still in front with 15 gold medals and 33 total medals. The U.S. still lingering in third place with 7 gold medals, 11 silver medals, and 6 bronze medals, a total of 24 medals. And it's time for a daily check-in of the games from KSL 5 TV's Deanie Wimmer, who is in Milan. Deanie?
Hey, Maria, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, but things are starting to wind down there.
I know, the countdown is on, but, you know, we were happy to be able to say hello to the athletes who helped contribute to that medal count.
Mm-hmm.
Our Utah speed skaters, they were showing off their hardware around their necks today. And after they soaked it in, we got to talk to them a little bit about their accomplishments and how happy they are.
Yeah, so tell us what they had to say.
You know, last night they said this was a great thing, but you could sense the disappointment. today I think they've more come to terms with what exactly they've done, and they could see their family's excitement, and so they were really excited about what they've done. They were complimentary of the Utah Legacy Foundation for maintaining venues that allow people like them to learn to skate and to rise to the levels that they've done. And then they're going back to competition, so they've still got events left to do, but a great accomplishment for them.
Okay, tell us about this group picture at the Duomo with Snoop Dogg.
Okay, so this is the scene. It's the busiest plaza here in Milan, the Duomo, and every day people are getting their pictures taken facing the Duomo. When we walk onto the Duomo and we see the plaza, everyone has their back to the Duomo, and instead they're looking at the NBC studio tower where the NBC show is based. And we're trying to figure out what's going on. People are cheering and screaming, and then we look up and it's Snoop Dogg on the top of the building, and they're all trying to get him to come down and taking pictures and that kind of thing. It was just the weirdest sight because you've never seen everybody with their back to the Duomo until today.
Oh, my. So also something I caught on social media is like you got to check out some chocolate. What is the chocolate like there in Milan?
Well, the chocolate that we found, they call it Choco VR because it's like caviar. They have the chocolate sprinkles around the edges. So Choco VR, it is so good. And I'm bringing some home, Maria.
Okay, I'm going to hold you to that, Deanie. I'm going to want some of that. You know how much I love chocolate. So when I saw that on your socials, I was like, oh, that Deanie. Hey, Deanie.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your reports.
Nice seeing you. Thanks. I'm talking to you.
That's KSL 5 TV's Deanie Wimmer. Tonight on KSL 5, tune in to see cross-country skiing, men's snowboarding, women's alpine skiing, and freestyle skiing. That begins at 7 o'clock, followed by the KSL 5 News at 10 o'clock, where you can see more of Deanie's conversations with those athletes. The 2026 Winter Games on Midday with Maria Shilaos, brought to you by America First Credit Union. America First Credit Union has everything you need to get your money working, so head to americafirst.com and become a member today.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
As abysmal as our snow totals have been this year, even with today's dumping of snow, Montana's have been worse. That's why the NCAA Ski Championships will now be held in Utah this year. Bozeman, Montana was supposed to host the championship coming up in March, but KSL.com sports reporter Josh Furlong says the NCAA decided that they didn't have enough snow for the competition.
Because of the mild winter that we've been having here in the West, it's been tough for a lot of these ski resorts to be able to have the snow that they need. And as part of that, Montana State was expected to host the NCAA Ski Championships, and they just don't have enough snow, quite honestly. And so their venues just didn't have enough to be able to host it. And as a result, the NCAA looked to try to find somewhere out west to be able to host the ski championships, and Utah became the next best option. The event has to stay out in the West, and so it was not too many options that you could go with, and Utah had the opportunity to be able to host. And so As part of that, the NCAA skiing championships will be hosted here in Park City and in Midway. And Utah will be coming in as the reigning national champion to be able to defend its honor, so to speak.
He says while most resorts now make their own snow, Montana is having it really a tough time keeping up. Now, it sounds like something we know pretty well here as well. The alpine skiing will be in Park City, and Nordic competitions will take place in Midway. Furlong says it's the change that bodes well for Utah athletes.
The last time Utah hosted this was back in 2022. They get to host it again in 2028. Nothing changes as it relates to that. So Utah will still get to host this year, but that doesn't mean that they lose their 2028 hosting opportunities. So, you get an opportunity to see these athletes up close if you're interested in watching skiing, and Utah gets the opportunity to do it, pretty frequently now as a result of that. The unfortunate thing for Montana State is they were expected to host again in 2020 when the world had to shut down because of COVID. So, this last couple rounds, they haven't been able to do it, and it cycles. It essentially goes every 6 to 8 years that they get the opportunity to host again. So this is a big blow to them. Obviously, it's a boon for Salt Lake City, for Utah, and for that opportunity. But it's a tough opportunity for Montana State, who their last two opportunities to host, either COVID hurts it or they just don't have enough snow, which is unfortunate for them.
Bottom line, he says Utah's athletes will now be able to defend their title on their home course. Salt Lake City's Rio Grande neighborhood is about to undergo a major transformation thanks to plans for a 3-story climbing gym at the site of an old mattress company. The city is now considering plans from USA Climbing to build their new headquarters in the area west of downtown. President of USA Climbing, Mark Norman, says it's a special opportunity to have their gym in that area.
Well, we're super excited, in all honesty, for the Rio Grande district. It's a special opportunity to go in and hopefully catalyze the redevelopment of that district. We know climbing gyms around the country have gone into areas like this and been successful at helping generate that excitement and buzz to get an area to redevelop. So we're excited to be first in, and we're excited to help Salt Lake City really revitalize the Rio Grande district.
Norman tells KSL News Radio's McKenna Rodriguez they've given the city a couple of options to rebuild the old manufacturing plant at 500 West and 3rd South.
This is an old building from the early 1900s to basically renovate it. What we've brought to the city council was an opportunity to either rebuild it, reuse it, or kind of take it down and build an exact replica using all of the bricks, all of the same opening. We're excited for that to be able to occur. We think that kind of juxtaposition of old and new is really cool and really special. So we're looking forward to preserving the building, whichever way the city council ultimately decides, whether that's a rebuild or a reuse of the existing building.
Main focus is to get the gym up and running in time to train athletes for the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. Around the world, millions of Catholics are observing Ash Wednesday today. We'll learn more about it coming up next. But first, it's traffic on KSL News Radio. It's brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Here's Ricky Meese.
Again, a nasty drive along I-80 in the valley and through Parleys. You'll see slow speeds anywhere from 1300 east all the way to the Highway 40 junction near Silver Summit. The worst spot is westbound I-80 approaching the Summit due to where we've had a freeway closure backing traffic. It's a parking lot to Kimball Junction. And then on the eastbound side of I-80, not far from the quarry, again, just stop and go delays. Tito?
Big and Little Cottonwood Canyon still remain closed as we head into the 3 o'clock hour. No idea when they may open back up. Snowfall still appears to be causing delays in Weber and Davis counties. This mostly looks to be on Legacy Highway 89 and I-84. And down in Utah County, slower speeds remain on Highway 6 in Spanish Fort Canyon. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
Every day here in Utah, people turn to KSL News Radio for one simple reason: trust. Trust for our reporters, hosts, our coverage, and trust in the businesses heard right here. I've met so many of our listeners over the years, and they'll tell you KSL is part of their daily routine, in the car, at work, at home. And when they hear your business here, it carries the weight of that trust. It isn't just another ad. It's a recommendation coming from a reliable source. When you advertise on KSL News Radio, you reach a loyal, highly engaged audience who listens intentionally. They show up for breaking news, accurate information, and meaningful conversations. And because of that connection, they respond. And when you pair our on-air credibility with digital tools like display advertising, social media, streaming audio, search, geo-targeting, and retargeting, you get a full funnel strategy that works and reaches the right people at the right time. Get marketing that truly moves the needle. Partner with the voice Utah trusts. KSL. Learn more at kslnewsradio.com/advertise.
Join KSL News Radio and the movie show crew this Friday 10 to 1 at My Hearing Center's 8941 South 7th East, Suite 203 in Sandy.
If you've ever set New Year's resolutions before, you know how difficult it is to follow through because you have to wait to see the results. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and in honor of your New Year, New You resolutions, Any Hour Services is having our New Year, New System sale. From now until the end of February, Any Hour Services will give you $2,026 off a new furnace and air conditioner. And you don't have to wait to save the money. You get $2,026 off at the time of purchase. The only thing you have to do to qualify for our New Year, New System sale is call Any Hour Services and schedule a free estimate. When you call, there's no obligation to buy. Just schedule a time to meet that works best for you. Let me say that again. From now until the end of February, when you have Any Hour Services install a new furnace and air conditioner, we'll give you $2,026 off. Call Any Hour Services right now and schedule a free estimate. 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Who doesn't love winning? Right now at ksl.com/win, you'll find exciting contests with prizes you actually want. Tickets, gift cards, and more. It's fast, it's free, and you can enter in just a few clicks. New contests are added all the time, so there's always another chance to win big. Don't miss out. Visit ksl.com/win today and enter to win. That's ksl.com/win.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep, deep discounts. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Mountain America Expo Center, Sandy. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandswimspasale.com.
Hi, I'm Utah tax attorney Jordan Wilcox. When the IRS invades your life, it's never good news. Keep in mind, it's not just you.
I owed roughly $34,000.
$61,000. When the IRS first contacted me, I was horrified.
When they start hounding you and harassing you and assaulting you.
Don't face the IRS alone. With everything in your life at stake, don't trust just anyone.
From what I got told was being done in a matter of 2 years, he had done in a matter of like 48 hours.
It's a great thing to have the IRS off your back.
We have reduced our tax liability by over $42,000.
Once I signed on with Jordan, I never talked to the IRS again.
It changed our lives.
You need someone to fight for you. Visit endtaxworry.com and get relief today. Let's solve your tax problems now. Visit endtaxworry.com. That's endtaxworry.com.
Trying to make sense of the markets? Looking to diversify out of all the craziness? Thinking about tangible assets like precious metals? Listen to The Gold Show with Kenny Michaels right here on KSL at 3 p.m. Sunday afternoons. Stay up to date on retirement trends, how the IRA rollover process works, and why investors are turning to physical gold. Kenny is a national talk show host with decades of experience in the markets. Tune in for Kenny's Insights and The Gold Show this Sunday afternoon at 3.
This is Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. For many Christian churches today, it is the first day of Lent, commonly known as Ash Wednesday. Father John Evans is the Vicar General for the Catholic Diocese of Salt Lake City. He joined me to discuss the significance and importance of this observance.
The importance of Ash Wednesday is it's an opportunity for us to begin our Lenten season, our Lenten journey, as we prepare ourselves for the coming of the resurrection of Christ in Easter. So when we celebrate with the ashes, we're being reminded of our own mortality. And there are a couple of variations, but when I was putting ashes on people's foreheads this morning, I would say, remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return. That reminder of our human mortality. It's also a time of repentance, to take account for one's life before God and to repent and ask for forgiveness of sin. It's also having humility before God, acknowledging our need for His love and mercy in our life. And then, of course, in the observances of it, we have a heightened sense of fasting, prayer, almsgiving, and that repentance.
How did the tradition begin? Why use the ashes?
Well, it begins in a number of ways. So scripturally, 40 days has a very big significance. Jesus is 40 days in the desert. Israel's 40 days of wandering. It's a biblical period of purification and preparation. But again, the ashes themselves are a reminder of our mortality, right? And repentance. And often you'll see in Scripture people will talk about sackcloth and ashes when they are repenting before God. And this would be in the Old Testament mostly, where it's a sign of recognizing in the way of humility before God our need for God and His forgiveness, His mercy. And it's when we enter into a deeper relationship with God, right? We would want to be purified of any sin, any wrongdoing, and be in greater communion with the God who is life, and have greater life in God. Not just now, but for all eternity.
How long do folks leave the ashes on their forehead, and what is the significance of leaving them on their forehead?
There is no regulation, to say you must leave them on for so many hours or anything like that. Most people who receive ashes leave them on throughout the day, and then they'll wash them off the next morning or maybe that night or something like that. But it's just a symbolic, visible reminder of, marking, most often marked with the sign of the cross, entering into that Lenten journey and with intentionality, wanting to be in greater communion with God.
All right. Is there anything that you would like to add that maybe I haven't asked you?
One of the things that happens with Lent is the churches will tend to look more sparse on the inside, less flowers or no flowers. The colors change from green, which is the ordinary color, ordinary time, into purple. And purple is the color for repenting, for penance. And so we see a little bit of a visual change, but a more simple change, if you will, to a simplicity.
Father John Evans is the Vicar General for the Catholic Diocese of Salt Lake City. Thanks so much for being with me today for Middays with Maria Shilaos. Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News is next. Have a great afternoon.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Good afternoon, 3 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Jeff Kaplan, 28 degrees. We still have some light snow around. KSL's top story. All of a sudden, the snow-free winter was over. Snow fell with a vengeance this morning, causing a host of problems. And it was beautiful, as long as you weren't driving. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera has been driving. And he's been talking with commuters. He begins our Storm Watch coverage live. Eric?
Jeff, the snow really came down hard in the valley late morning into midday, and it turned roads into a slushy mess fast. I'm at the Maverick on 5th South right before you enter the freeway from downtown, and right now the snow actually looks like it's starting to thin out compared to just a couple hours ago, but drivers say the roads are still slick and they're bracing for a potential rough drive home. I talked with Madison while filling up her tank for her road trip today, and she says the timing couldn't have been worse.
Just right as we thought it wasn't going to come, and here it came. Right as we thought.
Where are you guys heading? Are you guys going to the mountains, or are you guys just trying to get to and from?
I'm headed to Vegas. And
You're headed to Vegas?
Yeah, and now I'm delayed. I'm like, dang. Of course today I'm driving across.
If there's one thing you could tell drivers on the road, what do you want them to know today?
Just slow down a little bit, you know?
Our KSL meteorologists say the heavier bands should continue breaking up as the afternoon progresses, but slush and leftover slick spots could still slow down the evening commute. Live from downtown Salt Lake City, Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
So it's Vegas or bust. If you looked out the window midday today, you saw that snow falling so hard it was almost blinding, so hard that flights in and out of Salt Lake City were stopped for about an hour. Airport Communications Manager Cindy Gallo says the weather has to be pretty bad for a full ground stop.
Our snow plow teams are really on it. The equipment that we have is really built to make sure that planes can continue to operate in pretty bad weather.
Gallo says the ground stop allowed the giant snow plows to clear the runways and get things moving toward normal. The FAA says right now the average flight at SLC is delayed about 30 minutes. The Utah Avalanche Center has issued an avalanche warning. Now, you're probably thinking forecasters always want skiers to be cautious, but they say this time it's different.
An avalanche warning is the most severe alert product that we have at the Avalanche Center that is used to inform the public when avalanche conditions are especially dangerous. So we issued that this morning, and we have a high avalanche danger throughout the day today.
Brooke Malshun there. She tells Midday that even when the storm's over, the danger remains. KSL News Time 3:03. The danger was definitely evident north of Lake Tahoe.